3-minute delay, but better late than never.
Hey man, been a while since I've been on Discord. Their security's gotten ridiculous.
Yes, sir. Security has gotten ridiculous over here on Discord. If you don't mind for a second, I just want to measure how far down we went from my red blocks real quick. And feel free to talk a little bit while I'm doing my measuring.
Go for it, man.
I'm just doing a screenshot. You can talk.
I'll bring up the article here in a second.
If you have anything you want to send me, you can also put in like Discord general chat. I can pull it up there.
Sounds good.
People don't know who you are. Do you want to keep it that way? Do you want to stay anonymous because of your job and everything? Working for the big man?
Yeah, I think that's the smartest thing to do for now.
Yeah, we'll keep your identity anonymous. Let me measure this distance down from red blocks real quick. That screenshot's so hard to read. 8% Bitcoin, 25%, 21% UFD, 15.50% Doge, over 15% ETH. So yeah, we dropped down significantly from those red blocks. You're familiar with that, right? You've seen that in the Discord a few times.
Yes, sir.
You don't have your voice changer on, by the way. You sound like a complete normal human being. I don't know if you want to fix that real quick. Maybe sound like that creepy guy or something, I don't know. See if that fits your voice.
I don't think Herbert's gonna be here for today.
Why? Because Joe Biden's not in the office anymore?
He's free to do what he wants now, which is everything he was doing before, pretty much.
So the other day, I thought that Donald Trump was going to pump Bitcoin to 108K. But you know what? Saylor didn't even buy right before the news or right at the timing.
Yeah, apparently Trump's also been getting a lot of blowback over the reserve. I mean, of course, we knew this was coming, but it's apparently there's several articles that have come out recently about closed door conversations. It's kind of shitty.
Well, you know what's weird? He didn't announce that the Trump coin would be part of that reserve. Or the Melania coin would be part of the reserve. I don't know. Or Unicorn Fart Dust. He didn't announce a meme coin reserve.
No, I will say, of course, they also Ethereum and Bitcoin. I know the Ethereum was kind of upset, or some of the supporters of it were very upset that he waited later to announce it because they didn't really get the same pump that a lot of the other coins did. Not even XRP didn't even get the biggest pump. I think it was
Cardano.
Cardano, yeah.
But Cardano had the best technicals, right? Cardano had the very good technicals for the sell side. We could. I think I need to go over that as well a little bit later. That's a good idea. We go over the technicals before their pumps. I made a good trade. I did a Cardano long. That's why I picked Cardano. It is the most oversold. Actually, in the Discord, I did a Cardano long. I was like, I'm only going to day trade this. I'm not keeping this open. People are going to sell the news as well. I did a Cardano trade, and for that trade, let me pull it up here.
I meant to ask you how you made out after that news.
1,035%. It's a very quick trade. I entered at 96.7 cents, closed it at like $1.01 and some change. And then now we look at Cardano. The price is down much lower.
Nice.
Did you what do you think about Elon lately going on the Joe Rogan podcast?
Yeah, I got a chance to watch some of it. I actually watched the other guest that he had out on there afterwards, who was confirming some of the some of the misspending that they had done in the past. And I will say I haven't got a chance to see all of that, but I'm gonna probably watch it, binge it at some point. But the little bit that I've seen, he basically just went in depth in a lot of the issues that in U.S. aid that they lost or that they found, specifically the ones that Trump listed during one of the press conferences that he had. Uh, he loves that list. He was announcing and basically regurgitating everything that was on that list in just about every meeting he had that day, between being in front of the press or when he had his luncheon with the with the governors and several other live events that he had to go to that day. But I would like to actually look at a detailed report. I haven't got a chance to see like some of the other ones they may not have mentioned or some of the smaller ones. I will say though, I do take. I'm kind of not a fan of what they have planned for like the national parks and the layoffs that they've done. Specifically because you just you don't really it's not really a good idea to put someone who is known for being a having a large investments in the lumber world in charge of your national forestry department. It's probably not smart.
You know who they should put in charge of it, right?
And who's that?
On Joe Rogan podcast, he had Paul Rosalie on. I think Paul would be a very good character for that role because he's a conservative and he understands the environment and he understands making content around it too. He understands the environment. Oh, you have an open mic as well.
Yeah, I went ahead and fixed it.
We sound good though on our end. I just want to say though, I haven't seen that Joe Rogan episode with Elon and Rogan. I've been busy using Grok AI to build video games, testing that out. I mean, honestly, if you want to come over one day, we could just watch it together, catch up on the whole episode. I haven't watched even 1 minute of that episode.
Really?
Really. I've been too busy. I built like 8 prototypes for video games on the using Grok. Just the AI has helped me tremendously. And I'm thinking about incorporating AI into the trading strategy as well, because if I like I got to be careful opening Twitter on YouTube. I say that jokingly, but after Elon bought Twitter, there's a lot of interesting things. But what I could do over here, you see this Bitcoin chart has like a double bottom. We have a falling wedge. We're just up a little bit from that second double bottom. I think technically this could be a decent area for a green block. You know, you got some news for us. Can you tell us the news while I'm drawing these green blocks?
Yeah, so just to kind of do a recap of the pump, just if anyone wants to know what the caps were. Apparently, it was announced later before the recent sell-offs. The brief rebound after the sell-offs. Bitcoin shot up to about 95 at the top today, at 95K. After dropping below 80,000 last week, XRP, Solana, and Cardano also saw some massive spikes in their prices after Trump's announcement Sunday. But by Monday afternoon, prices had fallen roughly back to where they were before Trump's announcement. U.S. stocks also fell sharply Monday after Trump confirmed plans to impose 25% tariffs on imports from both Canada and Mexico. So if you guys, out there who's, invested in these companies that work closely with Canada and Mexico and, are really heavy invested in SPY or like to scalp on SPY like a friend of mine likes to, you probably did not have a good day that day.
Well, you have to remember, people buy puts. But that's not the news. That's not the news I'm referring to. Tell us about something that's going to happen on March 7th.
March 7th.
That's the crypto summit. Oh,
that's right.
I'm about to close my Bitcoin short. I'm up over 800%. I closed that Bitcoin short. Can you look into the summit that's going to come in like 4 days from now?
Yeah, I got you. Let's see what we do. Alrighty. So, go on Cointelegraph right here. I usually use. All right. So, for those who don't know, on March 7th, Trump will be hosting the first ever White House Crypto Summit on March 7th, bringing together industry leaders to discuss regulations, stablecoins, and Bitcoin reserve legislation. I think it could go either way, depending on how well this summit goes. I think we're going to see some pumps coming up, but kind of like how back in 2020 when Elon went on SNL and it didn't Doge didn't go pump up to $1 like we wanted to after that because
It was the highest
yeah,
price though.
the highest price
That
was
was the highest
70.
price.
Yes, the highest price was I think at stable before they had a huge sell off was around 78 cents. I think it touched at the high 82.
But that day gave people like the very last chance, very last chance to
Oh yeah, but you and I were invested for about a year at that point. You and I were invested like at 2 cents.
But we were taking profits like even the days before that because we knew that
Yeah.
people. It's very simple. Buy the rumor, sell the news. It's you can't get more simple than that with crypto.
Oh yeah. And then of course AMC, those big spikes, as well as GameStop. I mean, I didn't get in early on GameStop like I should have. I was so close. It was $5. It was 2 days before the big jump. And yeah, I remember having my finger over the buy button. I was like, you know what? I think I want to invest in something else. And believe it or not, that's actually when I started putting money into crypto. But yeah, I wish it had been a different day.
I remember back in those days, you came to my place and I had the I was already in GameStop early, and by that time I already had Dogecoin, so I knew you were very late then. But you did pull off a good AMC trade, right?
Oh yeah, I remember taking some of my Doge earnings because I got in Doge at first at 2 cent, at half a cent, and then I wrote it up to 5 cents. Did pretty damn good, and then when it went back to 2, I bought a lot more, and I held on that for a while. And then when I sold that, I used the money from that trade to put into AMC when we both were looking at the charts and saw all the crazy movement because it had also gone from like $2. It was also getting over shorted and it had gone up to $10 within like 3 days. And so we knew something was coming of it. So we went ahead and I put out a filler. It worked out. And then I did a big buy at $11. And then by the time, in like literally a few hours while we were watching it, you turned to me and says, you need to put a sell on right now. You need to go ahead and put one on and or stop loss right now. And I'm like, okay. So I did it and I set it at 60. I think we charted, looked at the growth because it started shooting up. We put it at $68. And Robinhood at the time, because that's when we were trading, literally cut it off at $70.
And that was only AMC
And
stock.
it went through.
I'm gonna pull that chart up for people. That was AMC for you guys who don't know. AMC was a stock that was squeezing when GameStop was squeezing, but their CEO kind of diluted the stock. So none of these indicators are going to work that well. They increased the supply of the stock. But imagine getting out of AMC. So you sold at $60. How much was their split? Do you remember?
The split, I can't remember what the split was.
Let me just do 390 divided by 70. I think it was 5 shares. You got 4 normal shares and then one. I think it was 5.
Yeah, it was a 5.
So you sold at 64, right?
Yep, or 68.
$68 per share.
Yep,
I don't
that
know.
was where we did.
They did more than
Because
they did another split after that then because I know 68 when you sold it was like near the top up here. You sold at a very good time. Their stock after they did split and dilution, and the CEO started dumping shares. It's like $3.05 for AMC right now. I think
Yeah,
so. I
after
think GameStop's about to squeeze again. Are you thinking about putting a little bit of your money into GameStop?
I haven't been charting as religiously as I should. I've heard that they've been getting squeezed a bit lately, so I definitely wanted to take another look and not miss out. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a squeeze as we saw
I
5
think
years
I think it's
ago.
going to be bigger. Let me explain why. And I have the chart up right now. If you want to look at my GameStop chart,
Okay, I'm watching.
I think it's going to be a bigger squeeze because with Trump in office, he did mention that one of his campaign promises was to get rid of the naked short selling and have accountability for companies that were shorting stock so that they cannot short more shares than they could. Because remember, a while back, Wall Street was shorting Trump stock for almost more shares than existed as well, driving down the price, and
Price.
they got caught. And FOMO, you have an open mic, I think. So I think, and GameStop right now, I mean, yes, it's up significantly from the $11 mark. It's like double, but if we go to the double top from here to $65, that's a decent move. That's a good move.
That's actually, yeah, that's a pretty significant jump there. Did you ever change or edit your code for your Pine code for your green blocks, or did you update them
I've
since the
updated
last
it. I
time?
have green block, red block. So let me show you this real quick. Um, so this is my regular green blocks for the GameStop. I didn't modify it, but let me load a copy, and then let me load. Oh yeah, gold hit a new all-time high. That's pretty cool, and then started retracing a little bit. But if I load Nvidia stock, right? Oh, this is not the copy. Let me double check real quick.
One thing we definitely need to talk about today is the big $100 billion investment for the Taiwan chip company.
Actually, the YouTube has the new. Yeah, we'll talk about that just in a second. The YouTube, I should have my red blocks on here for you guys in case there is a. Yeah, I call it green block members. I don't have it published. Last time I put my code, people copied it and tried to sell my code. Can you believe that shit? People are trying to sell my code in their private discords. So
That's free.
I gave it away for free, but then I was like, okay, people want to sell the code. I'm gonna update it and then make it better.
Smart.
But if I look at my code, my green block and red block indicator, for something on the chart, let's go out and let's look at Doge. I think Doge was good for it. If I put Doge on the daily, let's hide drawings for a bit. Shit. Too many like this was what my red block indicator looked like on Doge, and I was showing people multiple times when it's up there triggering. So even from these red blocks, we're down over 50% from Doge on the red blocks
Right.
daily. And compared to my green blocks daily, which was way back here, at 6 cents to the red blocks, that was a big move. And I shared these charts multiple times on Discord. So I want you to talk about that new contract, though.
Which contract? Oh, the $100 billion contract.
Yes.
So essentially, the idea is the head of the company of Taiwan Semiconductors Manufacturing Company (LTD) wanted insurance. I think, given how this current administration operates and how the current um, market for chips being like in the world, I think this was an insurance policy more or less than just a business plan. I think this is both to help essentially strengthen his ties or strengthen their ties with a Trump presidency or a Trump-led America. So if Canada, or not Canada, excuse me, if China decides to act up, they can always turn to the $100 billion deal. This basically kind of gets them in bed with us a little deeper and gives them a little bit more security, at least from a economic standpoint or future proofing standpoint on their end. But let me see if I can get more information about the deal. Other than that, I think right now. Right now, it's just basic stuff. There was a press conference held earlier today where the CEO of the company got to speak on future plans. I believe they're building a base of operations in Arizona, but I think there's something else being built as well. So if you're in the Arizona area and you're looking for a job, there you go. Don't know when it's supposed to be completed. Right now, from I understand, the contract is due to be signed or has been signed today. But again, I'm gonna look into it real quick and see if I can give anyone here a bit more insight.
Yeah, if you can look into if it's actually been signed, that would be very helpful. I don't know. When I draw these green blocks for Ethereum, they get super long. When I zoom out and come back in, that's so funny. So while you're looking into that, I'll tell you a story about what happened this week and try to explain it a little bit better to you. So Safe Wallet was hacked, and because they were hacked, when Bybit used the Safe Wallet, the front end code showed normal transactions when they were withdrawing. But the back end, because front end, when they signed it on the front end, they thought it was normal. But meanwhile, the back end was stealing their Ethereum, about $1.4 billion worth of Ethereum at that time. And it turns out the hackers was North Korea. So we had a big dip initially. People were panic selling. The CEO of Bybit was on Twitter Spaces talking. But then we had a big pump because people knew that they had to buy it back. So they had a big pump. People did squeeze the shorts. They were squeezing the shorts, so we had something like this happening. I'll pull up that Ethereum chart. People were squeezing the shorts, and they pushed it back up to like 2,800. But then after they pushed it back up to 2,800 and people closed their longs, there was heavy shorts across every single exchange and pushed us down. Now my green blocks are triggering only daily for Ethereum, which is pretty bizarre. I mean, my green blocks on Ethereum haven't really been triggering since back here in October when it was around the same price. And then after they triggered a few times, it's kind of like this. We had some trigger, dropped down, but this one we're actually at a lower price, 2,100. This did complete our head and shoulder for Ethereum, by the way. But last green blocks back in October, we noticed over 50% movement. So Ethereum also may not be the worst time to dollar cost average in Ethereum if you know Bybit has to go and buy that Ethereum back. Yes, North Korea is one of the biggest holders of ETH, but Donald Trump just came out and said that they want to add Ethereum to the reserve as well for that crypto reserve. And just because your enemy holds something doesn't mean the value goes down. If your enemy holds gold, it doesn't mean you're going to stop buying gold.
Nah, but I will say that a American huge buy would definitely boost their economy because then one of their most largely held assets is now increased in value. But I do want to kind of circle back to this deal. Apparently, after doing some research on it, because usually in the past, as I was always, I still have a pretty good touch with automotive companies right now, especially during the EV spike. But for now, the reason why these kind of two things.
What's the ticker? I'll pull up the stock chart.
It's actually the ticker is TSM, and I'm kind of shocked that it's not doing as well as it should. But then again, it's not a traditional stock here in the U.S. I think it's an ADA.
Oh, this thing ran already. That's why. It already hit the all-time high.
Yeah, it already ran.
People already bought it before this news came out, the insiders.
Yep.
100% the insiders. Like for my green blocks in 2022 at $60, this thing ran.
And that's when they had actually announced that's actually when they announced a $65 billion deal to build the plants in Arizona. Believe it or not, Tame, the thing is that this actually is not the only thing that has been the only company that's been investing in chip build. Apparently, this kind of sparked it. So they invested more than 65 billion to construction series of fabs in Arizona back in around the 2020s when it was first announced. But since then, Apple has also unveiled that they want to invest 500 billion and hire 20,000 people in the US over a 4-year period. However, there has been evidence that Apple has made claims like this during every major, during every presidency or the beginning of every presidency, and they don't always follow through, or they just kind of back up and they maybe do a portion of it. So that's yet to be seen. However, the Emirates billionaire Hussein has intended to invest 20 billion to build more data centers in the U.S. in order to help assist in the development of larger AI and language models, which would actually make sense because as we're developing more chip infrastructure, it would make sense that we'd also need more data centers to hold those products that were made using those chips in order to develop these larger language models. Now, as far as the companies that are actually going to who's going to win right now, because I would say that we are definitely, just from some of the guys who I've talked to in the industry and also working with guys who develop their own AIs, um, we're very much in a bubble right now. There's a lot of competitors on the board when it comes to AI. Before it was OpenAI definitely had the lead on a lot of people, but I guess you could say now that that lead is not as drastic as it once was, as Google's AI has definitely gotten improved, as well as Copilot. It may not be the strongest of the three, but it is the most accessible, especially if you work, say, in a company that uses Microsoft Suite, which is just about every company in the United States. Not every company, but a majority of the companies in the United States use the Microsoft 365 suite, which actually comes with Copilot built in. And I'll even say, in my current company, I use it quite a bit. And it's actually, when you talk to a lot of people, it's their first interaction with AI, especially on the company side. And as they continue to develop security and privacy into the AI to help meet company facility and privacy requirements for their data, specifically those that are ITAR facilities. And for those who don't know what an ITAR facility, it's basically you make something that is regulated by the government. So firearms, military equipment, anything like that. Typically, these places did not allow the use of AI at all. But now, specifically in Copilot, they're making exceptions. Just to also kind of go off of the large investments into the US, a large Japanese company called SoftBank is investing into artificial intelligence and has committed over $100 billion within the last few years. Um, and so a lot of this is stuff that's been in the woodworks for the last 5 years or so, but a lot of it's starting to come back to light, and a lot of these investments are starting to or what we call spigots, are starting to get turned back on since President Trump has entered back into the office.
Well, I'm going to go back into another Ethereum long. I already closed one earlier this week for some profits. So I'm just entering another long on ETH. Just look at the daily chart that I showed in the Discord as well. It's a pretty damn good daily chart. I mean, what we see there in the chart, I mean, this could be a long that I would be happy to DCA. I mean, starting next week, they're going to make an announcement, and they're probably going to start talking about percentages on the 7th. So,
I just want to know what long term the reserve would be like, because you have to think at one point, I think a lot of people remember the US government was kind of wanting to crack down a little harder on crypto. I mean, back in 2020, 2022, there was a huge issue that was coming up, which was the lack of crypto rules or crypto regulations, and specifically with tax law. And that's when the tax laws
surrounding crypto were really pinned down, or at least the initial rules were getting pinned down. And around that time, we had heard about rumors about other countries buying, Venezuela being one of them, setting up their own crypto reserves and wanting to base their currencies off of Bitcoin specifically. And we've seen the benefit and also the downfall of doing that. So trying to figure out how we are going to develop a crypto reserve on our own, which is, by the way, a direct competitor to fiat currencies like the US dollar. It makes me wonder, how are they going to influence, specifically when we start coming up to this summit, how they're going to influence these companies like Ripple Labs into changing the infrastructure to better suit a U.S. asset that can be more easily controlled. Because I think we can all agree that the U.S. doesn't necessarily like an asset that it doesn't have control over, or at least a large say in.
Well, they did mention made in America.
That's true.
But Ethereum's not made in America.
That's true. But they all operate off of the blockchain ledger, which means that it's still decentralized at the end of the day. Now, of course, there are been, as chains have gotten, or chain tech, or as blockchain infrastructure has changed over the years, there has been ways to kind of make it more semi-centralized, like intra-chains or your networks that have a little bit more oversight. But I kind of wonder if, say, here's a good example. Let's say the United States decides to buy a 5% of the total supply of XRP, just initially.
Wow.
I foresee them wanting to have the majority of control, especially if other countries want to invest in it. That way, if anyone's of these, whales or anything like that in the past has been able to control price action by, selling large amounts, buying large amounts here and there, kind of being able to set the market if you own most of the market like they've done in the past. One way that the U.S., I believe, can actually regulate that or make sure that doesn't happen, or at least control the chaos a bit, is by doing a controlled burn of the asset, or influencing Ripple Labs to do intermediate burns here and there to make sure that the supply slowly starts getting regulated into a stable coin, or basically by turning it into a fixed asset. In other words, you're not going to have something that's automatically being resupplied and burned. You're going to have something similar to Bitcoin, where it's slowly going to start regulating. They're going to burn, like, say, 3 XRP and only introduce like 1.5 or so back into the market. And then it's slowly going to regulate, and then they're going to cap it. And then basically they're doing that to ensure that once they do, they have the control, because they have the large chunk of the supply. Then that way they can kind of regulate how it's going to be done. So yes, technically it's still a decentralized asset, but its largest holder, just like a typical company, it's going to have the majority of the say on how that asset is operating on the world market.
I want to talk about the world market real quick. They didn't talk about anything about buying USDT, Tether, and I want to read you something from a book that I was reading at the library the other day. I'll pop this up on YouTube real quick too. All right, guys, on YouTube, you get to see this book. This book is called "Punishing Putin Inside the Global Economic War to Bring Down Russia." And inside the book, right here, I guess we're going to open this in browser. We have to open this in a browser. It's so wild. Because you need to read this. You need to take a screenshot of this so that you can understand my point. Right here. Right here, it says, using cryptocurrencies was another way to buy real estate to get around sanctions and banks worry of Russian transfers. Agents and expats told me Many Russians were using the cryptocurrency Tether, a so-called stablecoin pegged to the US dollar and known as USDT, to move millions into Dubai. Russians did not need a bank account to buy real estate in the United Arab Emirates if sellers or middlemen were willing to accept USDT for a deal at the right price. So I'm telling you guys, eventually they're going to get rid of USDT. The government could kill USDT overnight, and they're probably going to go with Ripple's stablecoin, RLUSD, which would rage havoc on these crypto exchanges. It would be brutal. But if Ripple has the money to back their stablecoin, look how much money they're going to make in just transactions on their stablecoin. So that's also the bullish argument that if you were building a whole presentation on Ripple and XRP, that you need to know the government probably doesn't like Tether that much.
Which is funny because it's already stood the test of time as far as I'm concerned, as far as
No, they didn't do their audit. When they were supposed to do their audit in the European Union, they refused to do their audit, refused to show their books, so they had to stop operating in Europe. A lot of firms cannot use Tether in Europe anymore, in Canada and other countries. Tether is slowly dying. If you look at their transactions, they're slowly dying. People are transitioning away from Tether, and all it takes is Donald Trump saying one sentence, and Tether gets depegged. It goes to zero. So we have to be careful when we're trading on Tether, because if you're shorting Bitcoin and Tether depegs, the price of Bitcoin goes to billions of Tether. It may not be billions of dollars, but it will be billions of Tether. And oh my God, it will be a nightmare.
So how do you think Tether saves itself now? Because like you said, every major exchange uses it as a one-to-one to Doge. I mean, I'm staking Tether right now as we speak.
Oh, you better stop that right now. You better stop that. No, look at their charts. Their transactions have been, oh dude, they've been falling off. They're already depegged. They were depegging quite a bit. Last month they were depegging. They went down to like really big, and the number of redemptions that they had were not even that big. But they were depegging all the way into February as well. And then people did a lot of redemptions that repegged, but still, it started that depeg trend again for Tether. Because they didn't open their books. They were not transparent. Ripple will be transparent with their stablecoin. And honestly, which coin would you use? The one that has no transparency or the one with complete transparency?
Well, currently, the only reason I use Tether is because it's kind of the industry standard in terms of transferring from a coin to USD.
Right.
Why I currently use it now, because the best way to say it, way I stake it is, I kind of see it as, yes, I don't have the FDIC insurances, but it's basically like setting up a high yield savings account for me. I get like I think right now it's 4.17% off Coinbase.
No,
just
dude.
for holding.
For USDC or USDT?
USDT.
If the stablecoin loses value, that's not FDIC insured. And for the 4% yield you're getting, man, I know for a matter of a fact you can make one trade a year and probably get 20%. If you spent your time and did one trade a year, you studied the chart for like 1 minute a week, you would make more than 4%.
That's just where I keep my dry powder for now. Like that was just one of those things that I staked in just so that way I could have something, like whenever I see something I want to buy, I can buy it, and then I just know that it's not just sitting there doing nothing.
Okay.
I did have it staked ETH for a while, and that definitely built me up a bit, and I sold before the drop off.
All right.
And then I just stored it there for just that way it would grow just a little bit while I was thinking of my next move.
You know what's weird about after I drew this green block? Oh my God, these fuckers. Let me show you this. I drew these green blocks, and then like a few minutes after I drew the green blocks, this happens on Twitter. Bybit tweeted this a few minutes after I drew my green blocks. talking about Bitcoin trading at 84,761. Keep an eye on the charts, and then we start dipping even more. Talk about a sell signal. Oh, brutal.
Ooh.
But we don't have that many more liquidations on the 5 minutes. What scares me is the liquidation when we got in the 4 hour and weekly. We know that liquidations for Bitcoin slow bleeds down to 40,000. That's where the big money's at for the market makers, for the hedge funds that are shorting. That's where the really big money's at. And I literally entered a long on Ethereum, and right after I entered long and announced my long on Ethereum, I started getting hunted. They started hunting me within minutes of announcing my Ethereum long. Wow. The biggest sell candle on the 5 minute happened after I went long on Ethereum. And that's why I tell you guys, try to use a $0 liquidation strategy so that these guys can't get you. There's no way I can stream without $0 liquidation strategy. I will get liquidate every time. They will hunt me down every time.
Hey, what do we got on the 4 hour? You zoom out to the 4 hour, see what we got for liquidations. Come on.
Let me... These shorts on
You know me,
Bitcoin...
I always ask you for a 4 hour, especially when we're at levels like this.
I don't even know why I put Unicorn Fart just on the 4 hour. It doesn't have liquidations really yet. It's really nothing on the 4 hour, especially for like Doge. But
hey, it's looking good.
But look at our last green block on Bitcoin at 79K, my indicator. It bounced from there. And was I streaming when we hit 79K on the 5 minutes? This probably popped up, right? The oh no, this is 4 hour. I was streaming on the 5 minutes.
I think you came a little bit after that last dip.
You guys didn't see that because you're watching my chart on the 4 hour. But this is what the 4 hour chart looks like. So the 4 hour is not that bad on liquidations. You're not going to see.
No liquidations. It looks like down here almost. It really does. It's almost cleared everything.
But it's misleading. This is misleading, Joe. The indicator's not showing you all the people that are. Because remember, this is this indicator is the very high leverage. 25s, 50, and 100. This isn't counting the people that are 5 times long, 4 times long, 10 times long. Where the real big money's at. It's not calculating that, Joe. Unfortunately.
Don't you have like a limit on which ones show up? Doesn't it have to be like more than $1,000 trade too?
I can. But I'm just looking here. It's I need to get another indicator. I probably have to go through. The YouTube doesn't make enough money to buy API data. There's no way in hell I'm spending $4K a month for API data for any indicators. Not a chance. But
no, but thanks for zooming out like that. You know me, I always ask for a 4 hour.
But if we had the API data, we could get like the like up to the 5 times liquidations if we wanted to. You
can always do it for 1 month just to see if we like it.
Yep. So the strategic reserve though, that came at a very good time. When Bitcoin hit the green block at 79K on the 4 hour, somebody went really long on Bitcoin. I'm talking about like $200 million position long on Bitcoin, and it started making the news. I mean, this was all over crypto Twitter before the news covered it the other day. They thought it was an insider. I thought it was someone that was trading off of the technicals.
Damn. Let's see what else happened in news today.
Are you seeing this big dip right now? I mean, that's the biggest red candle of the evening, obviously, and it finished off those last liquidation lines on Bitcoin. And that represents over a 4% drop. My Ethereum long that I entered is super negative right now because I did 400 times leverage. Wheats is offering 400 times leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is something I like because Bitcoin and Ethereum were trading so slow that people like me, we weren't trading it because we wanted bigger percentage gains. And even like, I think a 50 times Doge long can make more gains than a 400 times Bitcoin long because Doge can still move 4 or 5 times faster than Bitcoin at certain times, especially right now. Especially right now.
So I actually have some news that you might want to be interested in.
Tell me.
For anyone who's currently invested in any weapons manufacturers, Lockheed Martin, all those guys, you might be seeing some dips. Apparently, Donald Trump on Monday, today, directed a pause on U.S. assistance to Ukraine after the quote-unquote disastrous Oval Office meeting as he seeks to pressure Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky to engage in peace talks with Russia. So basically, he's strong-arming Zelensky right now.
Well, I've been a big fan of the Smith and Wesson stock, but let me counter your argument there.
That was an argument. That was just an observation.
Well, let me counter the argument about. Well, you said you should hold off on the gun manufacturings. In America, you're familiar with North Carolina. We passed a piece of legislation making it so people could get a handgun without a permit. Well, there's rumors of other states planning the same as that thing, which would drive, which would. All it takes is one state. Last time it took North Carolina, one state and the price doubled for SWBI stock. That's all it took was one state passing that law. Now we get some of the other states passing that law, or we get Canada passing some laws like that eventually long term. I think it's really good for the gun stocks.
Well, as you know, I worked in that field. As far as consumer firearms is a little different pot than say military industrial complex firearms, specifically weapons, anything with a detonator, specifically large weapons. But yeah, you're right to say anytime a state has any positive or has a net positive legislation that allows for eases on gun laws or gun ownership, it really does help to have it really does help stocks, specifically in some of these smaller retail companies like Sig Sauer, Daniel Defense, Kimber. I don't know those
Yeah.
who don't know, but they're actually just not too long ago launched their new 2011 weapon, and the magazine was actually developed by a company that I work pretty close with.
But not anymore.
Huh?
But not anymore, right?
No. I cannot talk about what we developed there, but I can tell you now that it's out there that there was a partnership between this company and Kimber. So the gun is amazing. I actually got to fire a production model before it hit before it was released for sale. And it is crazy, but then again, when you pay $2,000 for a gun, it better be good.
Yes, sir. I was looking at. I looked at a lot of the footage from the war. I think the guns that I'm buying and the gun stocks that I like Smith and Wesson, they're not really using that gun a lot, anyways, in the Ukraine war. So, yeah, the retail is a lot separated. I want to talk to you about some more news that happened this week that you might be happy with or you might be sad about. Pi launched to the mainnet, the Pi network. Did you have any Pi network or on your phones, your old phones?
Pi?
Yeah.
don't recall Pi. I had coin. I was big in XYO for a while, but they just gone into a obscurity.
Well, you gave me a phone, an old phone. I checked it. It had 300,000 pi. And Pi's on mainnet now. It launched. And guess what the price of Pi is?
What's the price of Pi?
I'll pull up the chart for you on YouTube. And maybe you want to buy this phone back from me.
I'll say I still have it. It's just dead somewhere in a
Look at the price of Pi. $1.66 per.
I had wallets filled with all kinds of different things when I was mining.
This was the one where you just click the button on your phone every day. They have the mathematical pi symbol for their logo. Some people say it's just data farming. I would obviously not keep something like this on your main phones.
Data farming. But I don't know enough about it, so I'm going to let you explain it. But I actually would like to hear more what he has to say about it.
Dirty D, if he's on Discord, he should hop on Discord and let us know. But the token finally launched. One way they're making money is when you go to mine daily, you watch an ad, usually mobile game ads or some ads. And yeah, most people that did not complete their KYC, they didn't get their Pi. And if people were in your security circle and did not get their KYC, you don't get that mine reward bonus. So that did reduce a lot of that supply. The maximum supply is 100 billion. Circulating supply is about 6.9 billion. This would have been a lot more if they gave everybody Pi without KYC, but they forced people into that KYC. And if he hops on Discord, that's great. I do want to say that this green block right here, we did get oversold on the 5 minutes. Let me just pop all these charts up. Why that green block was more powerful. This is why I don't like volume down here.
Apparently, they're already talking about government shutdown because no one can agree on the Doge cuts in the Senate.
They will never shut down. They want to get their paychecks. They're greedy motherfuckers. Which a lot of these people in the government need to get fired. We need to roll out the no capital gains tax. We need to roll out no income tax. So that green block showed the RSI is oversold. I did put that in the Discord. When I tagged that green block, there's a chart here showing that RSI level. How are you in favor of no income tax for Americans?
I mean, I think most people would be very happy with no income tax, especially if we can justify the loss in revenue from it through the cuts. As long as the cuts are reasonable. I'm not in favor of a few of these cuts. I think they're a little too they're being made a little too aggressively, but I understand why they're doing the way they are. But just the last announcement where a lot of these guys that had gotten cut were actually worked in the nuclear weapons facilities, and a lot of them were essential, and they wind up having to hire, just like before, and some of the other
yeah.
we ended up having to hire them back, and then when they hired them back, they actually went back through the list and then refired some of the guys. I'm like, come on, man, you can't be playing with people's lives like this, man. Especially the forestry guys, man. Like I am a avid hiker, as you know. I'm a very big outdoors guy, and when I saw that, I was pissed. You know, last thing I want to see is national forests and whatnot basically become just fodder for the lumber industry. That's just a few examples, but like I said, I'm happy to see income tax go. I mean, we are one of the wealthiest nations. There are nations less wealthy than we are that have figured out how to do it. We just need to be able to do it ourselves.
Anybody want to chime in there, by the way?
Chime in. If they cut income tax on crypto, I mean, the floodgates open, right?
Well, income tax and capital gains tax are separate. They want to get rid of both. And the income tax, I'm talking about people working at Wendy's, Arby's, Walmart, Amazon. That would be big.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
And the capital gains on crypto. I mean, honestly, I'm not trying to take a shot at you guys, the retail community, but you guys suck. You guys fucking sucked last year and the year before that. The government did not even collect that much capital gains tax from you guys. So either A, you're a bunch of liars, or B, you can't trade worth a shit because the government didn't even collect a lot of capital gains from you guys. A lot of you guys had zero or negative capital gains. So yeah, go ahead and get rid of the capital gains tax. Save you guys a lot of your time and embarrassment.
Either that or everyone was really good at loss harvesting.
Yeah, but they're also talking about getting rid of capital gains on the stock market too. But the way they talked about doing this is a consumer tax. So when you go out to eat or you go to the store, when you go shopping, that's where you're paying your fair share of taxes.
I think Trump's really trying to return us back to the days where when we didn't have income tax, we were relying completely on tariffs as a means to basically enrich the U.S. Government agencies and structures, which we had significantly less than, mind you.
That's it. That's what he was talking about at his rallies. That was his whole thing at the rally right there was the tariffs over no income tax. So I mean, one thing that I know about Trump, I mean, obviously, I think the guy definitely follows through with what he says, and I mean, the hard times are now. The first quarter, I mean, if you look at crypto, 2024, 25 institutional money, 2018, the launch of all these institutions. Before that, retail ran the game. So if you look at everyone's like, looking at this Trump stuff and, I hate Trump now and blah, blah, blah. But the reality of the game of crypto, it is changing on the dominance of the way politics are now and more institutional money coming in, ETFs, these ding dong coins that retail. Let me tell you something. These influencers, if you go back 2017, maybe there was like 3 or 4 channels. Now you got hundreds of channels influencing retail to buy fucking shit coins. So the turn of events is we're just hitting this reality of understanding like how this game is being played differently in these cycles. And I mean, yeah, I mean Trump, whether the tariffs execute the taxes, I think we're in a really good situation right now, and I'm dumbfounded by some of the humanity that is out there that is just like they either don't consciously understand or they have no common sense of like hypothetical finance and how the world works, man, because we were going fucking broke. So any corrective fucking business is gonna have, hurdles and speed bumps. You're gonna scrape your elbow, you're gonna fall down. But I tell you what, man, the next 2 to 8 years from here, I think we're solid, man. And from what I see, I mean, I don't know what you guys' perspective is, but that's where my long game is.
Yeah, it's definitely going to take some time to really see the implications. I mean, even Elon has said the reason why they're being so drastic is because, as we've seen in previous administrations, by the time they actually get around to going through the bureaucracy, getting things done, doing things, everything
Yep.
they're supposed to do correctly, it's already,
Mhm.
re-election season, and they don't actually do anything, or we don't see the benefit unless the incoming president is either the same president as the previous term or agrees, and keeps those policies rolling.
Yeah.
But again, I think we can both agree that we do need to be cautious because a lot of these government agencies that we see are getting shut down or getting affected are
Hmm.
necessities. I think we can agree there's fraud being hidden everywhere in any agency, but simply
Well, that
getting rid of
and that's the whole point right there is like rooting out this fraud, man. It's unbelievable. Like as a taxpayer, I've paid taxes for almost 50 years, you know, and I mean, you definitely want to know where there's holes, You know, and I mean, if like they've been fudding and there's been like these, I mean, look, what was Barack Obama like? This guy came in the office, you know, $4 million, left with 300 million. I mean, it's so simple. Like to look, what is the president's salary? 400K. Of course, it's a game of business, man. And any human being, you know, that has greed is going to look at that and say, "Oh, I can manipulate this, or I can do this for the people. I can scrape off this." Well, all those crumb scrapers, you know, are adding up to fucking Trump's mess. And at fucking 70 some years old, you know, I mean, of course, you know, he's going to manipulate it here and there. He's going to do some inside trading here and there. I mean, there is business in there, but if he can affect the economy and strengthen it, um, you know, so be it. But you know, these government agencies. I mean, I don't know how many employees overall. I mean, overall, there's going to be protests. There's going to be. I mean, fuck. If you, I mean, they get these jobs, they're not going away. Those are life jobs, right? So some of those workers were there for 40, 50, 60, whatever years, just milking the cow, you know? How many days have they spent in their house doing absolutely nothing, doing other shit besides their job? So the email that is like, "What do you guys do?" Fuck, and that even caused all this controversy. I mean, that's just a fucking bold, you know. Hey, what do you do? I want to know what you do. You know, let's figure it out. But I
And of
think
course, I
where we are
think we can both
right
agree that
now,
that's a slippery slope. You know, you don't
yeah,
want some government agencies telling you what they do.
No. Let me be clear. It doesn't matter what your job is, even if you're NSA, CIA. If they ask you what you do, you can just give a summary. That's just checking your pulse, seeing if you know how to send an email. That's all they were asking for, to see if people were even there monitoring their accounts.
exactly my point.
Yeah, I mean, like if you like you said, they just had probably sent some. Now,
You
and
gotta
that
you
was
gotta understand. So understand this. I've built three very successful companies in my life. My first business was when I was about 22 years old. One thing that is well, a few things, obviously infrastructure, but accountability on action. That is so fucking important, especially in the magnitude of government agencies and the amount of like the field out there of employees. Milking the system under corrupt government is so easy. So an email like, "Hey, can you give me an overview of what you do?" That's not like a slap on the, you know, that's just like, "Hey, we're new here in the office. We've got a new administration. What do you do? You know, we've got the Department of Government Efficiency. What do you do?" You know?
That's true. I think that, and I started thinking to myself, if they really shouldn't have been telling you their business, do they really even have an email? Like, would you give that guy who shouldn't be telling you shit an email? No, he's got some other form of communication with his superiors. Now, don't get me wrong, there are probably some agents there that, you know, they figured it out. They said, "Hey, look, you know, I'm the manager of this department, you know, they're not going to tell you shit. But I
Yeah.
will tell you,
Doge is
this is
breaking
what they're
down right here,
working on."
guys. Doge
Huh?
is hitting 18.5 right now, Tame.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking at this. We're getting the last bit of those liquidations on the 5 minute, and
Yeah. Yeah.
and
There's let me see,
it's still not in an area where I would personally buy Doge. By the way, the only one I
no,
would
me
go,
either.
I would buy UFD and Ethereum right here. Doge and Bitcoin, they're not at the levels that I would want to buy. Is there anybody in voice chat right now that would be willing to buy Doge around 18 to 19 cents or Bitcoin around 82K?
Explain your reasoning.
I mean, I've been DCAing down from 20. So, you know, I'm just DCAing, but I sold at 48.
I mean,
But I've been doing this thing.
it could be a scalp. Someone might scalp it, but I cannot scalp it right now.
Yeah.
I feel like in the short term, Ethereum would probably outperform Doge because Bybit has to buy back that Ethereum. And the second thing, Doge might get a drop down, but if it does get enough drop down, I think Elon will convince Trump to put Doge in the crypto reserve. So I'm
Yeah, I was
hoping
thinking the
it bleeds
same
out.
thing.
I really hope they
Yeah,
liquidate
I was
all the
thinking,
two
it's
times
funny.
longs before that happens.
It's funny,
should
brother. I
focus on.
was driving today and thinking the exact same thing. It's weird if you look at Doge's cycle from like bearish dips since Elon kind of like did his thing with it. He's always kind of lifted up a little bit here and there with something like that. So I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
And
Well,
honestly,
supposedly
they'll
the
get it.
developers behind were changing things that make it more stable.
And they're going to make it where you can build stable coins on Doge if you want to. They already got the meme coins. You can launch meme coins on Doge. So it has that utility. I've already been studying crypto for the past few years, so already in my mind, I already know which cryptos I like. I like Hex, I like Pulsechain, I like Dogecoin, I like Ethereum sometimes. It's sometimes I hate Ethereum. Generally, like after I go to any Ethereum conference, I'm like, oh god, I got to get away from all these people.
Well, I think Richard Hart, getting all those lawsuits dropped. I think all this hex stuff's going to start getting accumulated. That was pretty big.
People hate Hex a lot, but it's truly one of the best decentralized ones up there. It doesn't have a centralized counterparty. Nobody can come in. Nobody can blacklist. Nobody can come in and mess up the supply or mint more tokens overnight. It's truly DeFi, and they even have like the DeFi servers for operating their swaps. They have DAI stablecoin on there as well. And the only bad thing about Richard Hart recently was when he alienated his community by tweeting that Pulsechain Hex is real Hex, and then he went and he proceeded to buy over 160,000 Ethereum for the average price of up $3,800 per Ethereum. Those are the two biggest qualms I have against Richard Hart for the year. But why did he have to buy Ethereum? Well, he's afraid that if he had Tether or USDC, that they could freeze it. They could steal the money from him. So he cannot do those stable coins. And he could stake Ethereum. He could become a validator, have a node for Ethereum, collect fees as well for the people doing the Hex stakes if he really wanted to. He could dedicate the protocol for the Ethereum stakes as a validator for all the people on the Hex side if he really wanted to. But he could bridge that Ethereum into Pulsechain too, which is very good. But yeah, I'm glad America has been dropping their lawsuits against Richard Hart.
Speaking of ETH, man, we're getting ready to break that low over there.
They're definitely
This shit.
Yeah, I think Bybit and some of the exchanges were shorting Ethereum to the ground because they didn't want to buy it back at a high price.
100%. Yeah.
And
100%.
This is the qualm I have with crypto.
Ever since the hack, man, of course, bro.
This is the shit they should not legally be allowed to let people short Ethereum if they don't have the Ethereum. That's what drives me fucking mad. So that's the part that pisses me off about
that and somebody going $4 million leverage 50x long the other day and making 200 million. Come on, man. It's getting crazy. Crypto's getting crazy.
Oh, I was looking on the Doge site after we were talking. Doge actually tagged the real Donald Trump, saying that just want to reiterate that Doge was created in the U.S. in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, of course, man. That's where. Yeah.
So, and I just want to say for these exchanges, I pray to God that Donald Trump buys up so much Ethereum that by the time Bybit buys it back, they go broke. Because the move they did to short it down, really bad for crypto. Really bad for crypto.
It's a tough move with this North Korea hack though. With these guys owning so much of this ETH, I mean, how do you leverage or understand? Like, when do you buy that? How do you buy that? Knowing you're just pumping their bags to dump it on you. Or I don't maybe I don't know where that's all at right now, if they sold anything, but in my perspective, it's like if they've got more than the ETH Foundation, and you're looking to hedge an ETH or buy ETH or whatever, it's like, fuck, you got that mountain leaning over you. Good little bounce on Doge.
Yeah. So I do want to say, maybe, hear me out. Let's talk about politics for 1 minute.
Oh no.
Maybe
Yeah,
North
no
Korea,
shit, dude.
maybe North Korea getting a whole bag of Ethereum will somehow magically turn them into a capitalist economy, and they find peace with South Korea and open the world up to the next Ethereum conference. Who knows?
What are you fucking smoking?
So if you,
I mean, I don't know. Anything can happen, bro. But
yeah,
Things
yeah.
have happened.
No, this might be the catalyst that North Korea needed. This big infusion of wealth that might turn them on into, like, because they like Donald Trump. North Korea likes Donald Trump, and even after the hack, he still agreed to buy Ethereum for the reserve.
well, I don't know. That could be debated, Tame, because I mean, North Korea has ties with Russia. We got to see how.
Yeah, but these guys, they have to realize at a certain point. They have to understand after a certain point their nukes don't scare us after a certain point. We will have systems that prevent us from getting nuked. So they'll understand that they're going to have to come around eventually. As technology and innovation gets better, they're going to come and participate.
Here's what's very interesting. Okay, so listen to this real quick. This is interesting because I was reading about this. So this hack group in North Korea, what was the name of the hack group? Does anybody know?
Lazarus. Like in the
Lazarus, right.
Bible. They took that name from the
Oh.
Bible.
Right. So listen to this. Listen to this shit. So BlackRock did business with this hacking group. I want to say 2020. Maybe I'm wrong. You can look at. You can Google it, Tame. And they funneled Ethereum through a hack that they did.
Oh no! Don't
maybe
talk about it. Don't talk about that, please. I don't
No?
talk. No. Nope. I already had this conversation with
Okay.
someone, and
Yep.
I know what you're gonna say. And
But do you?
that token might get delisted from a lot of exchanges. It's very sensitive. I don't want to give anybody trade ideas on that token. That one might get stumped to the ground. Well, let me put a disclaimer, and I'll let him tell the story. I don't want to gatekeep information. Thorachain is probably what he's going to be talking about, right?
No.
Okay. Oh God.
Not at all, bro.
Oh
Not at
God.
all. You're out in left field. Let me finish here. So this Lazarus group did business with BlackRock. I want to say 2020, and they did some scrubbing and some ETH or whatever, and they funneled that ETH back to BlackRock. Now, being this fucking goddamn crazy crypto thing for over a decade, as I have, and watching all the tides turn and the manipulation in the ETFs, okay? Now, if I'm BlackRock and I'm Larry Fink, okay, I'm thinking, why do I want to give retail any Satoshis at all? Why do I want to pump their bags and get them, a 10, 15x when BTC is only doing a 1 or 2x? Well, fuck that. I'm going to manipulate the Bitcoin dominance. And there's strategic ways to do that, including a hack group that stuffs, I mean, we were literally at 99K Bitcoin. ETH was getting ready to do its thing. The cycle, always happens in March, whatever. And now seeing kind of how Bitcoin dominance is, almost 62%. And alts have been bleeding more of a percent than Bitcoin now. I've never seen a cycle like this, but I do look at the differences in the cycle on the percentages and how this stuff is playing out. And that manipulation, if you are like an institution like BlackRock and you have alliances like MicroStrategy and you have all these different things, Like you manipulate that, eventually get rid of, 50, there's 50 million, maybe more altcoins. This space has always been fun for retail, fun for YouTube, fun for watching kids, invest small amounts of money, and making great gains. I mean, obviously there's the situations like the dude that committed suicide. I mean, there's going to be that shit. It is crypto, but it is changing now. And I look at this stuff, and one of the biggest things I'm seeing right now is the control of Bitcoin dominance. So if you manipulate something like a hack, with Bybit, I mean, there's all these different mysteries and plays and things and conspiracy theories and whatever you want to fucking make up. But this is just something that I've had on my mind because Larry Fink, before even crypto, he's been controlling the stock market with what is it called? The genius or whatever the supercomputer he built to manipulate the stock market. I mean, he's done the same thing over there for decades. And now he's doing it in crypto. He's flying over to Saudi Arabia. He's meeting, he's building his alliances. I mean, I look at the guts of what's happening and I can't help but see this BTC dominance. I mean, like alt season and, and maybe a mission to get rid of altcoins. I mean, I could be way wrong, but that was what I was trying to say, Tame.
That's good. That's good. I mean, eventually, Ethereum's at a cheap price anyways. So maybe these hackers have been trying to extract a lot of that ETH get value. And it could be one of the best opportunities for America to come in and buy ETH. At least Ethereum's not at $4,000 right now while they're trying to buy Ethereum.
Unicorn fart dust, man. You've been riding that fucking coin now for about 3-4 months now.
It's been one of the best performing too for the trade
But
scalps.
you know what, bro? It got you though. It made you some money, and it got you, man. It gave you some of that dust.
You get any unicorn fart dust? Anybody in Discord?
Man, the day you told me about it was the same day you made money off of it. It was too late by the time I.
Was that the first day I told you though? I think I sent everybody text messages around 3 cents when I first bought it. Let me check.
Man, you literally sent a screenshot of your games, be like, check out Uniform Fart Dust, and I was like, by the time I looked at it, I was like, ah, shit. The train already left that station.
Yeah, but it already came back down to 3 cents again after that.
Yeah, I've been stacking USD.
Tim jumped in there and made a quick 100K real quick, man.
It already came back down.
And then he cashed it out in the BTC ATM.
And I brought in Ron's Basement on your YouTube.
Oh, Dogecoin, 18 cents, baby. 18.8.
Dude, they're taking liquidity. So
look at Bookmap. Look at all the liquidity we have above us right now. I went short at 94, 20x, and I'm still fuck it,
The only reason I didn't keep all my heavy shorts. The only reason I didn't keep all my heavy shorts was because Unicorn Fart Dust. If Unicorn Fart Dust never came out, I would still be heavily shorting Bitcoin. But my logic was Unicorn Fart Dust will go up at a faster rate than Bitcoin will go down. Bitcoin cannot go down two times.
SMS. If you're not selling at 30, your Doge is going to be bullish at 30. So you really don't want to sell at 30 because if you're waiting at 30, you might as well wait to 50.
I honestly don't think that rate. I think Unicorn Fart Dust will double before Bitcoin drops by half. I think Unicorn Fart Dust can be 12 cents before Bitcoin hits 40K. That's why it doesn't make sense for me to short Bitcoin here. Already made my profits on Bitcoin shorts. I'm in Ethereum long, but that's just keeping me sharp on the future side.
40K. You've been calling 40K for like a year.
But it's been very good though because it gave me the best points for shorting it.
And then the last dip that we were going down, Tim, you had to put that big thumbnail on there, didn't you? That big red, white. Look, guys.
Well, here's the thing. if I was bullish on Bitcoin today, for example, I still would not have 40K for my liquidation price on the long. And I had the same argument with all the other people that got mad at me. Their liquidation price, they still did not want to have their liquidation price at 40K or above 40K because they knew that we could come down to 40K and liquidate them.
Well,
it's a big risk. And all it takes is one person. One motherfucker could sell their Bitcoin.
one ding dong, man. One husker busker.
One firm sells their Bitcoin, we come down. If Satoshi comes back and moves one Bitcoin, we're going to go down. All he has to do is move one Bitcoin to another wallet and we go down.
All he has to do is move one Satoshi.
Yeah. There's astronomical risk.
Why I think you guys understand now why it's such a risk to even have a national reserve of crypto if that's the case.
Well, yeah.
Can you imagine the U.S. economy just starts plummeting simply because we overbought Bitcoin, and then next thing you know, they're like, who's this big account that owns all this stuff? And then next thing you know, you just see I don't know who.
No. Well, crypto's not worth that much. Crypto's not worth that much. America could buy 100% of Bitcoin. Let me show you guys this real quick. Right now, we had a lot of money in Bitcoin.
Your hard drive wallet from your cold dead hands.
I'm going to introduce you to
here
something.
For the hard drive. Give us your keys.
So I'm going to pull up the Arkham. Guys, if you have a tool you want to use the Arkham. This is the U.S. government Bitcoin wallet. It's valued about $16.9 billion right now. And this is all Bitcoin. They got around $400 per Bitcoin. They didn't buy it. They stole it from people like Ross Ulbricht. They confiscated this Bitcoin. But they have 198,000 Bitcoin. America printed so much money just in 2020 that they could buy all the supply of Bitcoin 10 times over if they wanted to. We have too much money. So even if Satoshi came back and sold his Bitcoin after America bought, I think America would just buy it right back up. Kapow! And we, in America, honestly, we need a currency in America that people can use freely that the Federal Reserve does not print.
What would the price of Bitcoin have to be for us to pay off our debt?
So the debt to China or debt in total?
Total.
Well, you have to calculate the price of Bitcoin and liquidity. So I'm going to pull up the U.S. debt clock.
So it would, hold on.
So right here we have about $36 trillion. So we would probably need about, how much do you think in liquidity? Probably about 20 times this. At least $600 trillion in liquidity on Bitcoin. So 600 trillion divided by 2. That'd be 300 trillion. 300 trillion divided by 21 million. I don't know, like $140 million per Bitcoin.
Ooh.
If they can get Bitcoin to $140 million and then have liquidity, yeah, sure.
Oh, man.
I really hate that this might be 1-to-1. Just seeing like my rent just being a second on that clock, not even.
Oh, your rent's not even a millisecond on that chart, buddy.
Not even a millisecond.
Not even your annual rent.
I think for anybody in chat or anybody that's listening right now, like that has any doubt, I mean, I don't know where your bags are, if you're underwater, if you're over, whatever. But from somebody that's been in the thing since 2013, like, and seeing where we are right now, I've had to judge a lot of this, like, different cycle and like where it's going. But ultimately, there are so many powerful people in Bitcoin right now that believe in digital currency. this thing's gonna you're gonna have, like, if you're down in this dump right now, what's gonna happen? I mean, there's a lot of uncertainty right now. We got a new president. It's the first quarter. We're making all these tariffs. There's all this different moves. We've got a whole new cabinet. Elon's fucking Department of Government Efficiency. I mean, there's some weird shit going on. Like, if you were tripping acid and this is crazy shit. This is like an acid trip, So I mean, looking at this thing in the long game, I mean, just for 2025, obviously February's always been a bullish month, and March has been top, and there's pretty much every single indicator I've looked at has been almost bearish. I mean, other than like stock RSI is completely at the fucking capitulated bottom, but I mean, I don't even know if indicators. It's just a weird thing, man. I mean, you can use technical analysis, but where we are right now with cycles changing, you have to even look at technical analysis and difference of everything. I mean, we're just moving in a different era, and I think Trump's cabinet and where we're going, man. I think this thing's going to just blast off eventually. I mean, we might come down here. I mean, who knows? We have a Swan event. We got a lot of different. We got a weirdo in the White House doesn't want to wear a suit, and says we're going to have trouble in our waters. Of course, you're going to be disrespected. I mean, this is weird shit. There's a bunch of weird acting, and I don't know if it's acting, but there's weird shit going on right now. So don't fall into all this. If you're in chat and you're worried and you got this, that, and the other, I mean, just relax, meditate, do some yoga, chill, because this is all going to surpass. Trust me. Whether it's the third quarter or the fourth quarter, this fucking thing. I mean, look at this thing. The last bull run started with 600 billion market cap. All right. We're $3 trillion and way more of a higher percent of America in the world that is putting together crypto behind the scenes. There's phenomenal opportunities happening all over the fucking place. So with that amount of liquidity and eyes on crypto, I mean, if you look at the stock, fuck, everything's at the top, man. We've been going up forever, I bought at 15,000 on the dip, years back. You know what I mean? Like, so you just have to, this thing can come down to 69, can come down to 73, can come down to 30, can hit Tame's target of 40K, whatever. Just make sure you got a fucking day job, man. Don't quit that day job.
I want to get to a point where I can quit my day job. Any advice?
Honestly, you could have quit your day job a while back if you made the right moves.
Bro, don't remind me.
Don't remind somebody that, man. That's not a good thing to remind somebody.
So I have a tip for you because you're my friend. This is not advice. Nobody on YouTube, don't take this as financial advice. Right now, put all your money that you have in Unicorn Fart Dust at 6.2 cents. Players, put all your money in Unicorn Fart Dust right now. Wait for the 10 times and then take it out. You don't have to wait till $1. You can wait till like 62 cents and take out your money.
You heard it here first, chat. Load your bags, man.
This isn't for everybody. This is just for the one guy in Discord that's my friend.
Oh, well, there you go.
I have an idea, though. Let me illustrate this idea for you guys.
To give you guys some context, me and Tame were trading back-to-back, literally in a room back in 2020, excuse me, and we were making really good cash. And I had enough money to basically, like him at that time, really set off my crypto career. But what I wind up doing is I used that money and I paid for a master's degree out of pocket. And even though it was in a field that I love, yeah, I kind of would love to just, be able to just have what they call FU money and just work because I want to and not because I need to.
2020 was a good year, man, for crypto. I remember the first time that I ever discovered Doge is when I read the white paper. I read the white paper and then I read Bitcoin's white paper. I said, fuck, it's the same white paper. And then the first time Elon tweeted, I said, okay, I'm all in. What's it, man?
There you go.
So can you tell that story like a little bit deeper? Like you remember some of the crypto prices at that time you put money in university instead of the crypto?
Yep. And you haven't let me forget it.
So at the time, just for clarifying, my degree was I was an engineer and I wanted to go into developing the next generation of hybrid vehicles. Hybrid vehicles at the time were getting huge. EVs were getting huge. I knew I was already had a degree in electrical engineering and already worked for the power companies. I knew that I wanted to get on the automotive side really bad. At that time, I believe Ethereum was not even $2,000 yet. I think it had just got to like 1,200. Doge was had calmed down a bit after that because that's where I made most of my money. It was like sitting around like 50 cent, and then it was just declining, like slowly just declining until
Yeah.
there was like a big decline. And
Yeah, that was the
then
dream.
yeah, that was where it just started getting back into where it was before.
42.
Yeah, like 42. Yeah,
The
remember that.
good old days, man.
Hell yeah, brother. I miss those. Let's see
Yeah,
what
me
else.
too.
Hex was announced. Remember that, and you remember you telling me to get on that train, and I remember that train went pretty high. Let's see what else came out. Plex or not Plex? Pulse,
Dude,
the
Hex
news
went to
from
$3, didn't it? Or did it go to $10?
No, it went to 54 cents.
54 cents. Yeah.
So I was at Miami. I was at Miami when I found out about Hets, and it was only about 5 cents. I told my buddy, I came on the Discord. I came on that night in the Discord to let people know, like, I'm going to buy in Hets at 5 cents. And within like a few months, it was already at 54 cents.
Yeah.
It did it 10 times.
I had already had paid for my, just to mind you guys, the pain that this was. The tuition, I was considered an out-of-state student at the time. So the tuition was about $16,000 plus fees, all that stuff. It was closer to 20. I saw all that money exit my account at once with a.
So instead of buying cryptos that went up 10 times in value, he paid for university tuition.
Told me about.
It's a good investment.
Because I love.
But it's an investment that he can do what he wants to do.
Crazy research.
Yeah, man. A man without a passion is a man without a life.
But let me ask you a question right now. You have the opportunity for Unicorn Fart Dust. You have opportunity for Hets again. You have the. You don't have Doge yet, but if
I'm
Doge,
glad he's your friend, bro.
if Doge came back down to 5 cents, would you get Doge at 5 cents again? Like, you have these opportunities in front of you.
Oh, absolutely. Well, see, before I didn't have the dry powder that I do now. I will say that now that I have the job, I work for a large automotive company group now, thank God. Before because of COVID, I had to like take smaller jobs. I now have the dry powder to actually invest in again, and that's one reason why I've been getting back into crypto slowly, not jumping back in, but getting my skills back up, getting my charting skills back up. Because during that time, I kept an eye on crypto, but definitely not at the level that we did like in 2020, 2021. So I wanted to make sure that I was educating myself, getting right, planning what I was going to actually do. It's just the problem is
like you gotta lose before you win, man. You know what I mean? You know, I've lost if I tell you I lost a lot of money in this game, but it just reevaluates yourself and your position. You know, if like you don't understand, like ETH went to $100 in the COVID black swan. I always tell, like, this is how a lot of these people got rich. You know, black swans, whether we're coming up on one or whether it's going to happen. ETH was $100. Cardano was a penny. No, it wasn't. It wasn't even a penny. I think it was a 0.01 of a penny. No, it was a penny. It was a penny. You know, these coins, XRP in 2017, you know, was nothing, and it went to $5. You know, like you will always, when you get in crypto, invest and have some sort of euphoria and be like, fuck yeah. And you'll look at your phone, you'll be walking around the beach, you'll be like, fuck yeah, it's still going up, still green. And then it will actually being new in crypto, it will start controlling your mood and your life and everything. So I mean, when you lose big, reevaluate yourself, because as long as you listen to the right people and you are composed and you have a day job and you got money coming in, eventually shit's gonna go up. We even if it's unicorn fart dust, here at 6 cents in Tame's Target, whatever it may be. I don't know about 50 million coins, but invest, properly. But like your story, man, now you got liquidity. Now, Tame's helped mentor you. I mean, now you're ready to go. And it's just like wondering, what do I do now? Do I buy the unicorn fart dust? Or you need to get
I
ADA,
honestly don't
baby.
think he needs
I mean,
help.
Charles Hoskin's been talking a long time, man. And, I knew when Charles Hoskin went to the White House, I knew something was going down. He doesn't travel for no reason. So, and he said he had news in February. So, yeah, I got you, Seth Bean, whatever name, Seth.
Yeah, if Cardano comes back down to that 35 to 50 cents, that might also be another one to scoop up.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to wait because I missed I definitely missed the bag on that one, but I wanted to wait for the correction before I definitely bought again. But to your point, yeah, man, it was a journey. There were several times where I had even talked to my dad about it, about how I wish that I had put off school and just kept with the investment thing because I was getting good at it. I was getting smarter about it. Me and Tame were, like every day we were just working on watching charts. I mean, there was times with this man sitting here didn't get but like 3 hours of sleep because you're right, the charts control your life, especially when you're first starting out and you're still trying to understand how that all works. It was a crazy time, the early day, like during the big crypto pump back in 2020. But now it's like having to relearn how to ride a, no, I wouldn't say a bike because at least I'd be further ahead, but
Yeah.
it's like having to relearn a skill that you haven't used in a while, and it sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
your mom still trades, right?
Occasionally, yeah, but she basically does stable coin. She's not going out there asking you and me like what she should do anymore. She's kind of just holding now.
Did your mom have a lot of AVATs before the price ran? Or was it Chainlink?
She didn't have that. She had another coin. She wanted to get in the Pulse.
Did she ever buy
Yeah,
Pulse
everybody
Chain?
wanted to get in the pulse.
Did she buy it or was it too hard for her to buy?
It was probably
It
too
was
hard.
it was a little complicated, to say the least.
Yeah,
She just wound up
fucking
putting
thing.
more
I
money
couldn't figure
into
that shit out.
she put more money into Ethereum because it had done good for her in the past, and it still did good. She staked the coin for a little bit, got some of the money she lost plus some, and then she took it out, and now she's going on vacation again.
Good for her.
Retirement's fun, man.
Hey, Tim, I got a question for you. Um, Maybe it was a year ago. You went 200x on Doge, and you fucking ran with it, bro. But you didn't sell at the top. Where did you sell? And do you remember that price you bought in? You were 200x. I think you were making $1,000 every percent it went up.
I did Doge multiple times like that. I think,
Did you?
well, one time I know I sold at 21 cents. The other time I had a target at 36 cents, but I took profits too soon. I think around like 18 or 19 cents. Took profits
I
too
got you,
soon.
man.
But I did that to invest in something else, I believe.
Y'all know how you do those 200x's, bro. Every time I've tried that, I stopped trying it.
Well, I'll keep it on Doge, Bitcoin, Ethereum because eventually those are the ones that Doge can recover from an Elon tweet and you have your liquidation as close to zero as possible.
Yeah. Dude, speaking of an Elon tweet, man, when was the last time you ever tweeted about actual Dogecoin? When did he actually say the word Dogecoin?
No, he said Doge to the moon recently in a speech. His staff still gets him to talk about Doge. And he did a winky face when they were talking about Doge. I think they're going to get Trump to do Doge for the reserve. I would really hope so.
Cool. That'd be nice.
I got my Coinbase open right now, just kind of looking at a few things.
What are you looking at?
Let's see. Once I get it logged on, it logged me out for whatever reason. But
Well, I'm
that's
looking to
just 'cause
buy
of my.
some Doge like right around here, but I'm just trying to see if it's going to come down further. Came down. I was going to buy at 18.5, but started talking to you guys, and now it ran up to 19. Maybe it'll come back down. What's going on? Anybody in the chat getting ready to buy some Dogecoin too, or sell it? What do we got? 85. What do we got? 86 people in here.
I already sold all of my.
Did anybody ever listen to Whale Pool with Marty and those guys back in the day? Probably
Yeah.
too old school.
I believe
That
so.
was 10 years ago.
Our next guest is about to come on voice chat. Some of you might know him as Benjamin, Mr. Armstrong. Some of you might know him as BitBoy Crypto.
Tonight.
Oh, do you hear me yet? Do you hear me yet?
I'll be talking to you about
I'm joking. BitBoy's not coming on here.
Boy, that guy went fucking crazy, man. That guy went fucking crazy.
Well, the question is, did he go crazy or was he always crazy?
I mean, look at his, but look all the way back, bro. Like, I remember watching him when he had 300 subscribers, 2017. Like that dude, and he had a little baseball cap on. He was like the little cool crypto guy there, but it was kind of like looked like it was being ran like in his garage. I mean, and then all this crazy shit happens, and you got drugs. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you can't blame the guy for having a little fun and getting careless and doing some steroids. you know? But boy, did he fall apart. There you go, JD. You remember Whale Pool? I don't know what happened to Whale Pool, but man, I used to listen to that before I went to bed. When I woke up, those guys, man, there'd be some guy in there like, I'm doing lines of cocaine and Bitcoin's going to the moon. I'm fucking cashing out, baby. I'm going out with a online date. I mean, that was some crazy shit.
Man,
that was when Bitcoin only went down. Like CoinDesk said something, whatever. A different era.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool. You
remember,
remember that.
at the time I was watching a lot of mining channels when I was getting into crypto because I was like,
Oh
why would
yeah.
I have to be buying and selling when I just because I was a big tech guy. I mean, I still am. I worked in IT for a little while and while I was going to school to get my engineering degree, and so of course, you know, uh, graphics cards were always like a cool topic we'd always like talk about. And at the time, the RTX 580 was the everyone's favorite card. And of course the 1080 Ti. But if you couldn't afford a 1080 Ti, the 58, the RTX 580 was your best friend. Or not RTX 580, but the RX 580, excuse me, was your best friend. And those things could mine Ethereum like butter, or I guess how you
Yeah.
could say it, but it was like the gold. It was like having a diamond pickaxe. Like you were just, they did great. And Voscoin was one of the guys who I watched quite a bit, and he did a great job explaining the process of it. And it was just a really cool world to get into. And it's just kind of sad to see that it's pretty much gone for the most part. I mean, there's still some things you can mine nowadays, but it's so much.
Yeah,
It's
it's
more
hard.
a
It's hard.
hobby.
It's hard to make sense out of the cost of energy, and doing it now. Like if you did it 10 years ago, I remember working with a buddy that was doing that. I knew nothing about it, but he was mining Bitcoin after Bitcoin. Maybe it was like 11 years ago, but yeah, looking at now, like the cost of energy and it's hard to make sense out of it.
I'm looking at the
I
charts right
remember
now.
when,
The mining charts, the hash rate charts. We used to watch those religiously.
Oh, I know. I think it's another green dot. I was looking at it before. They're still selling.
Yeah, but Unicorn Fart Dust is the one that's performing the best right now.
We'll see.
Y'all remember Decentraland?
Fuck yeah, Decentraland was the shit, right? It was going to be the absolute shit. The guy that bought the fucking yacht for like $1 million or $4 million. That was some funny shit. I remember I was out with my friends. I laughed so hard when I heard that news. Yeah,
So
man, it got wonky.
they were I don't know if you guys have been on I'm sure you've been on YouTube, but their direct competitor has been marketing like crazy as far as like the whole buying, digital land. But Decentraland actually had a big bump too the other day, and they're back down again. But I remember Decentraland
Yeah,
being a really hot coin for a
Mana,
long
bro.
time.
Mana was going up so big in that last bull run. Mana would jump from like 30, it would do 30-40% a day, like it was nothing. Nothing.
Oh, you guys remember Raven Coin?
Oh,
yeah.
I remember Raven.
Mining with the NVIDIA graphics cards?
Oh, yeah. Raven coin was a good alternative coin to Ethereum for a while to mine.
Well, then Ethereum, ETH came out, the proof of work Ethereum that was after the ETH went to proof of stake.
How is it doing? I haven't kept an eye on it.
It's still surviving. People are still mining this, surprisingly. After Alameda dumped their bag, it never fully recovered from those high prices. But
Alameda.
it's still alive.
I haven't heard that word in a while. Every time you say that word, it makes me laugh.
So that's the benefit about being a crypto insider. If you were a crypto insider, you got invited to the Alameda orgies.
I don't want to go there, man. Looking at those fucking people, I don't want an invitation.
So you're telling me you didn't want to go to an orgy with Caroline and Sam Bankman-Fried?
I'll sit in the back and smoke a joint and watch, man, but I'm not participating in it.
Oh man, ETHW is $1.59. It was over $5 back in December. This thing shot up to $5 in December. Like it halfway recovered from when Alameda dumped their bags. But whew. But the ETHW chart is so butchered, so you have to choose what chart you want to use when you're actually charting. Because unfortunately, when it came out, some idiot market bought it at $99. So we have $99 on the chart when it should the fair price. Most of that trading volume started at $50 for the people that were shorting Ethereum. Binance had this weird thing that if you were shorting Ethereum, you were automatically shorting ETHW when it came out, so that gave it the $50 price spike. But over that, the average price was generally around like $10. Yeah, it's so weird. Like,
That is fucking weird.
It's the most fucked up thing in crypto that I saw.
I don't know if it's the most fucked up thing I've seen, but that is fucked up.
Well, the things I saw in the Bermudas or the Bahamas with the Alameda, that's probably messed up too. That was really brutal on the eyeballs. I'm joking. I never been to the Bahamas.
So who's left in this Discord? Is Rob still in here?
Rob Coy?
Yeah.
I can text him. He went and built a airplane company for cleaning airplanes. Let me ask him.
Damn, you guys take me to conferences, man.
Well, you should get back into crypto and go.
Oh, I am. That's why I wanted to do this. Get back into the swing of things, getting on the chart or getting on the stream again just for talk.
I got my well pass ready for the Bitcoin conference. I get to be there with Michael Saylor. Maybe Donald Trump or Don Jr. stops by as well this time for the photo ops. But
yeah, he'll tell you to hold your bags for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though that these guys do the conferences every year. But this is probably the best Bitcoin conference that will happen in Las Vegas.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Trump family, okay, the Trump family before presidency, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about money. It's all about business. That's not changing. So I mean, of course they're gonna be pro crypto. Of course they're gonna. I mean, Trump's getting sued now for inside trading on TruthNet for his fucking pump and dump coin. They say, of course it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Well, that launched literally the day before he took office. Well, a few days before he took office, they were planning it, obviously. But on the 19th, that's when it had the very peak. That's the Pico top for Trump coin. That was the Pico top for Solana. Solana never went higher than that day. That was probably the best thing that happened to Solana before the price came down. But
I got in and out. I think I made like $1,000 on that coin.
But yeah, player, the next conference I'm going to will be in Las Vegas.
What do you think is going to happen here on Friday on the summit?
That's when we're going to get another green candle. I think that's when they're going to announce. So that's my idea. Let me go.
It's got to be real news though. It's got to be like.
I know. Yeah, right here. Look at my chart. Look at my screen.
It'd be like no taxes or something like that.
Look at this chart right here. You see the Doge clock? You see the money that Elon's saving the government?
Yeah.
Do you think a portion of this money goes to buying the crypto for the reserve? Because this is currently over 10 times of what the government has in Bitcoin. Maybe they take this money.
Here's kind of why this is why I'm asking that question. The reason I'm asking that question is because any event that they know is going to pump, what do they do before? Okay, every single one, even if it's whatever government meeting, whatever it is, price dumps.
No, but it has a pump before. They have a pump before. There's people trading this right now, getting as much liquidity as they can. Maybe they announced Dogecoin will be added on the 7th as well. So
how does that work though? If Doge is always making new supply and they got a reserve, how does that work?
Because it takes so much energy as you get more supply. Technically, it is infinite, but you need more energy and computing power.
Huh.
So essentially the way it works is, as Tame said, the larger the supply, the more space you need. Space costs money, costs more energy. And we're not talking like, oh, you just need to add another 1 terabyte hard drive. No, we're talking like, for every bit of storage you have, you need more computing power to handle the transactions on the blockchain. So that's why decentralized networks were the thing, because the idea was you would share process. That's why mining is so important for a long time. But now a lot of this
I tell you what, if they announce Doge goes in the reserve, man, that fucking thing's gonna go fucking bananas. Yeah, like you think ADA and XRP went bananas? If Doge gets an announcement now by itself, like let's just say it's just Doge or maybe Doge and something else, whatever, that thing's gonna go fucking bananas.
You know, for a long time, I thought Doge's price was going to be based off of the performance of Doge, the actual like the agency.
It still might. It might be a reflection.
That was buy the hype, sell the news.
Well, my opinion about Doge was that once Elon Tesla Optimus robots start taking off and he starts crossing over $1 trillion revenue, that's when Doge really runs. Because what does he need? After he has all the money he needs for Mars, the rest can be used for Doge or anything else that he wants to do. Which I think if he goes to Mars, he needs a cryptocurrency instead of dollars for the currency on Mars.
Yeah, he hasn't really talked about Mars in a while. Guess he's got to take more. He's got to.
The other thing too is. Y'all saw the Joe Rogan recent podcast with Elon?
No, we talked about that. We never watched it yet.
I watched it. So, I mean, here's the thing is like, Joe Rogan gets into like the memes and he says, oh, well, Department of Government, well, the Dogecoin must be going well, right? And he kind of nods it off and he's like, well, memes kind of suck and they don't invest the farm and blah, blah. Like there's no like highlight of anything or this and that, and I look at all that stuff in detail, when I'm investing, and it's like maybe say, hey, well, the king of memes is great. The other memes, blah, 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 don't bet the farm, but who knows? It's just it was kind of a weird thing, but you can go on YouTube and look up that clip and just kind of watch that. But it's weird. You look at his demeanor. It's like it is kind of weird. You want to kind of understand the correlation now between, the government and the actual investment. Like, are they not correlated? Are they correlated? What's the utility going to be for Doge? I mean, there's a lot of fucking people out there that, he's hyped up a lot over the years that I think deserves, some type of, but like, is it just a joke still, or is it actually going to be facilitated into something that makes sense, right? Give all these investors something, to non.
Yeah, I think I think at this stage right now, the last thing he wants is the SEC on his ass.
Wait! I got news for you, players. The SEC ruled that meme coins are not securities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that happened a while ago.
But guys, can we go back to memory lane? Let's go on this Discord post real quick, because this stuff's timestamped. So last time Elon replied that don't bet the farm on crypto, when he did that tweet, he says, when he replying to about not betting the farm, look at these prices. Bitcoin was at 17,000. XRP was at 39 cents. Doge was at 8.8 cents. We're up drastically. Maybe Elon was saying bet the farm on crypto. People have to read in between the lines. Because he bet the farm on Tesla before. When he...
I guarantee he's going to be at that summit too.
Oh! Elon has to be at the summit. I don't want to bet on it, but I do want to possibly do a scalp before it in case they do add Doge.
Then maybe we get a midweek reversal on Thursday into a fucking God candle on Friday into the weekend. That'd be nice.
Well, it's on the 7th because that's when the options expire for MicroStrategy as well. Perfect timing.
Yeah, it really is. Think of that. It's nice.
Yeah, Juan Vargas on YouTube wanted to remind us about the SNL pump and that he believes it was a carpet pull in advance. His strategy is to, if that is the case, to pull out the day before.
But let me ask you something, players. How many kids does Elon Musk have?
How many what?
How many kids does Elon have?
Oh, I lost count, man.
Yeah, so does he strike you as a man that pulls out?
I don't want to answer that.
14 kids. Does he strike you as a man that actually pulls out? No. He doesn't pull out.
He doesn't strike me as one who doesn't pull out simply because he can afford not to. Even in a 50-50 state, bro.
No condom tonight. I can afford it.
Even a 50-50 state. That's wild. That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Never pulled out, bro.
Like, I would love to be that wealthy that I don't have to ever pull out. That would be like the greatest strength of wealth. Nobody in this Discord is that wealthy. We all probably have to pull out or use some type of birth control or protection.
Yeah, I don't know about y'all, but I understand birth control really sucks. It is not a kind drug, and as someone who studied organic chemistry and had to like break down that chemical, I forget what it is. I think it's logestosome or something like that. I forget how to pronounce it. It is a havoc wreaker, man.
Well, it changes the woman hormones for one. So I think the best way is for the guy to get vasectomy.
You know, they actually have a switch. Do you remember seeing that?
Yeah, if you still play the Nintendo Switch while you're 40 years old, that's also a good birth control.
I never played that.
No, I mean, like, there's an actual, like, it was a medical device that rather than a vasectomy, so, like, vasectomy, the turnaround is like 2 years. So, like, you have 2 years on average to decide whether or not you want to reverse it. If you don't, then you're pretty much done. You can't reverse it, is usually the case. There are some cases where it does work, but in most cases it doesn't. So they developed a switch, a literal medical device that goes underneath your inner lining of your abdomen wall, and it literally is a switch with a security tab. So you push in the tab, you're literally pushing against your lower abdomen, and you flip the switch, and that literally turns the sperm back on. You can go and have kids, essentially. They can always take the switch out and reconnect the tubes if you want it that way, but
Man,
I
that's
don't
crazy.
remember. It is crazy, and from what I understand, they got
That
plenty
is
of funding.
fucking
They
gnarly.
announced it. Yeah, but I don't know much about it. There is an article somewhere. I remember reading it. It was I think a few years ago. They had been working on it for a long time to get it right. I think they were still waiting for FDA approval.
Yeah, approval.
You got bionic
Yeah,
man.
this.
It's like, all right, honey, I'm ready for our third keg. Flip.
How many kids do you think Elon's going to have before he's done? 20, 30?
He's trying to populate the planet.
We want smarter people, man.
He's trying to set the example for the American.
Yeah, but just because the parent's smart doesn't mean the kid's going to be smart. I think when it comes to like IQ and intelligence, the genetics are not the strongest factor. It's more about the upbringing and the societal outreach.
So basically, nature or nurture versus nature on that.
Yeah, because you can go adopt a kid from China and make it play the piano before it's 3 years old. You can adopt a kid from anywhere and teach it how to play piano before 3 years old. So yeah, nurture is really important.
Oh, man, ETH needs to get a pump.
And Elon, I don't want to get into his personal life too much, but he failed the nurturing part. He wasn't there for his kids for enough time. And in life, you have to find a balance. If you don't have balance, either A, your business struggle, or B, your kids struggle. So Elon did not get that perfect nurturing.
14. Oh, it's funny.
And Elon's somebody that doesn't have enough time to be in a relationship. If you're working 80, 90 hours a week, you might feel too guilty to even date. Yeah, the girl you talk to, the girl's like, oh yeah, that's totally fine, that's totally fine. They get pregnant and have the kid. And then they complain after that. Because they have to know that Elon's working 80, 90 hours a week and not going to quit to raise a child with them.
Doge get a nice bounce out of this.
Yep.
It's a good little recovery, man. We got a little double bottom right there on the hour.
Speaking about double bottoms, we have the double bottom for UFD with a 8 cents price target. FOMO Baggins, you still got some UFD? I don't think he does.
Is that Bilbo Baggins?
FOMO Baggins in the Discord.
Bilbo Baggins.
Hey.
Hey.
I thought you said Bilbo Baggins.
His name is FOMO Baggins.
Yeah, I got some UFD.
And what's up, bro? What's shaking, man?
What's up?
Just chilling, man. Watch unicorn fart dust go to the moon.
It's been pretty good stuff lately. I sold all my Bitcoin and bought
Yeah.
it.
There you go, man. How'd you do?
Not there yet. I've been trading it up and down.
You got any
Good.
meme coins?
I got a couple.
Nice.
You got
I got-
egg fart with a hat?
ZMS. I'm looking at the chart for it right now. I made a lot of money on ZMS. Not a lot of money, but
How did you make money? Did you sell?
well, yeah.
Buy a boat.
You sold it.
I'm still holding. I was
Good for
holding.
you, man.
I was
Diamond
holding.
hands.
Let me pull up that chart. The ZMS chart.
I was holding
Hey,
5.
you got diamond hands, bro.
Yeah.
You got some diamond hands.
So you said you're still holding ZMS. Did you buy any of the dip the other day? What was that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I bought $200 for it.
In the
There you
dip?
go.
Yeah.
Big buys.
So-
Coming in big buys.
So if you bought in the dip, you're probably up over 100% on that buy, right?
10 grand.
10 minutes after I bought it, I was up 200%.
Nice. High five. Digital high five.
I'm not sure I know that one.
Did you
Oh,
sell any
no.
of that? Did you already take profit on that, or you're still holding?
I still got. I took profit. I still got 3 million of them.
And that's good. Profits are necessary.
I had 25 million at one point.
25 million, and now you have 3 million, but you also have a lot more cash, right?
Yeah, I have a lot more unicorn heart dust.
Yeah, this is the coin we launched in the Discord on February 13th while Bitcoin was still 97K. I'll put a link in the chat as well. It's just on the pump.fun. We did a fair launch. It was public. It was on YouTube. You guys saw the contract address when it first came out, the charts. So everybody had a fair shot when it first came out. And the other day we noticed that we were breaking this downtrend, and then it ran.
It's about to hit right where it hit after you bought yesterday.
Yep, I did a big buy yesterday during the dip, and we about double top right there.
I didn't know you were gonna buy. I wasn't up on Discord.
Nobody knew I was going to buy it yesterday. I didn't tell anybody I was going to buy yesterday.
After like 5 minutes after I bought.
But this token, it's like $24,000 market cap right now. This is still kind of early. I mean, that big dip down though, that gave people a second chance to buy that missed it in the first 10 days. If they missed those first 10 days before this pump, that was like their last opportunity to buy at different stages. And I did notice that the number of holders increased during that time because of the dip yesterday. And then people like you bought it and you're up like over 200%.
Well, yeah, I'm all in profits now. I mean, I took profits
It's good you took profits.
and just now bought unicorn fart dust with it at 6.
How funny is it hearing this conversation, Bones?
It's just listening to the name, bro. That's all it is. I'm drinking a beer and I'm just listening.
Wait. Say the ZMS name, FOMO Baggins. What does ZMS mean?
So we got shops. Today when I just went out and Googled Zoe mug shops, and I don't remember what search engine it was, it popped up a bunch of other girls named Zoe in their mug shops.
Well, we've got a Z at the end, but yeah, this was the mugshot, and we did a collaboration, turned it into a meme coin, which is what we have now. So it's funny, and we decided to do a fair launch on the 13th of February, which this has a lot of comments, by the way, and it's 18 days old. People are going to be looking back on the history. They're like, oh yeah, that FOMO Baggins guy, he made some profits on ZMS, and then he bought Unicorn Fart Dust. I don't even know. I gotta count, Mr. White Films. I gotta count.
Let's see what they're doing here. Let me look at this Bitcoin.
Did I ever tell you that the first crypto I ever bought was Doge?
That's probably because it was the cheapest thing on Robinhood, am I right?
That's exactly why.
See, that's the psychology. I know that people will buy the cheapest thing on Robinhood. That's the same reason why many of us bought it on Robinhood with the GameStop profits. We're like, we're going to buy the cheapest thing on this app, and it was Dogecoin. They didn't have Shiba Inu on the app back then. They only had Doge.
And how much was it? Like 0.001?
0.003, 0.003 to 0.005. And as it turns out, Robinhood was the biggest holder of Doge.
I'll buy that.
When GameStop did the short squeeze, that's the Dogecoin bag that Robinhood had saved them from bankruptcy. Elon going on Saturday Night Live, Elon doing the Dogecoin tweets. Robinhood probably would have went bankrupt if Elon never tweeted about Doge, but that's a story for another day. I don't want to get myself in trouble tonight. That's a story for another day. I wish Elon would tell that story on Joe Rogan podcast or something.
You know, I'll tell you this. If we see the summit on Friday and Elon's there and he doesn't start talking about Dogecoin or hitting something, that's a little bit like, come on, you're at the fucking summit. You know what I mean? So that's a little bit weird for the community. I think if he doesn't say anything about the coin, the thing's probably going to dump pretty good. But, nah, who knows?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, if you would you consider Dogecoin to be a pump and dump?
No.
It's up significantly before Elon ever tweeted about it, which is good. It's still up like over it's almost up 20 times from before Elon tweeted about it. 20 times. No, my bad. 40 times. It's up almost 40 times. So if you had $1,000 before that first Elon tweet, it's still over $40,000 right now in Doge. If you put your COVID stimulus checks into Dogecoin, your COVID stimulus checks into Dogecoin would be over $40,000 right now. I think if you had over $1,000 in the stimulus.
Yeah. You know, I just think it's been around so damn long. 2013, 15, somewhere around there. It's been around so long. And when you look at something like this that has gravitated a lot of people into crypto, you know, a lot of people came into crypto because of Doge. You know, fuck, what is this thing? Oh, it's a crypto. You know what I mean? So it's brought so many people in. And I think time will tell, but I think eventually the thing's just going to explode and do something weird. Elon will do something with it, whether he adds the X payments or he does this, it'll be something nuts. But I mean, like, you look at the past stuff he's done, all the tweets, like he even tweeted like a picture of a dollar with a Doge on it. You know, he's done so much to this thing, replacing the Twitter thing with Doge, whatever, you know, is so much crap. It's like, what? But I think people are waiting now for some solidification, right? Like they're waiting to like, let's build it into a utility and take it away from a meme and show that it's got real growth, you know? Yeah, I think that's kind of what people are waiting for, you know, some type of payment method, some kind of real adoption to that kind of thing.
What if we really make a new US dollar and they put the Dogecoin logo on the new dollar? That would make it pump, probably.
That'd make the Democrats go fucking suicidal.
Well, they're talking about putting Trump on the $100 bill, the new one.
Yeah. And what's up with these Epstein fucking... They can't release this shit? Like, they were supposed to do that last Friday.
They should have did it right before the Oscars. They should have did it right before the Oscars. People had the files.
Shit, man.
Yep.
Yeah, they're fucking with it.
Dude, all those people were taking pictures of it like they had the binders. I was like, oh, they're going to release this before the Oscars. Great. Nope.
Yep. Nope. Yep.
And you know what's weird? Satoshi never put a tweet out or any text out ever since Epstein died. Nothing. No messages, no hints, no nothing. No transactions, Satoshi disappeared completely after Epstein disappeared.
Yeah. You know, the weird thing, man, is when I was in my hotel room in 2010 and fucking drunk on wine, looking at Bitcoin at 30 cents. And I was looking at like researching Bitcoin. This guy Jeff came up. He's still around. I forgot what the fucking his channel is. But he was talking about this shit, and he brought up one thing that talked about Elon and PayPal, the 2008 dump on the market. And I remember talking to my buddy that night. I said, I bet this is the motherfucker that created Bitcoin, because if he's doing fucking PayPal, and I had that mentality in 2010, you know, because the crisis of the market dump in 2008, and then the want of a digital, PayPal, and then Bitcoin. And when that came in, I was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, weird, man.
Well, Elon could probably build a better payment system than what PayPal is to date, especially PayPal Venmo integrated.
He said that. Yeah.
And he can make it cheaper. I mean, in my opinion, the value of transferring money is very big, but I wish people did not have to pay for the transfer of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Cocaine, white films. I couldn't figure out how to buy it at 30 cents. The next day it was like at 80 cents. And I was like, I missed the boat. So that's how it was back then, though, because it just wasn't respected, and it was new, and people didn't understand it, and they didn't want to understand it. It didn't really get a lot of attention. You had Brock, a couple of these pioneers, and he accumulated his wealth through a fucking board game or whatever the fuck it was. Like a lot of people just got free Bitcoin, thousands and thousands, right? So much that they just didn't spend it and end up saving it. Hey, guys, spent it on pizza. You know what I mean? So yeah, back then it was just a completely different era, and nobody understood like it well enough to see that there was a future hypothetically for it. But it's been growing ever since. But yeah, I hear you. Wish I would have bought.
But we're still your early unicorn fart dust. You see Ron's basement doing the live streams.
And now we got 2025. Tame, you're still early with unicorn fart dust.
Ron has never been to a crypto conference. He has never been to a crypto conference. I think I'm taking him with me to the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas. I think if he confirms, he's going with me, and I'm going to show him around, introduce him to some people that like crypto. Imagine Michael Saylor in Ron's basement together in a picture with him telling Michael Saylor about unicorn fart dust. It won't make Saylor's plan about buying Bitcoin sound so irrational anymore, even him buying the tops.
Yeah, man.
Like, which one sounds more irrational? A grown man saying he's going to buy the Bitcoin tops every time, or a grown man talking about buying unicorn fart dust?
Yeah. You know who I wish was still alive in crypto? John McAfee.
Well, he's alive through AI. His wife created an AI of him. We got the token quite early. Have you seen the AI token? That's John McAfee.
No.
So she has his official John McAfee Twitter account. It has 1.2 million followers. You really? Oh my God! Let me put an announcement.
That was one cool guy, man. Like I followed that motherfucker. Like he was always running and partying and having fun and talking about the system and Bitcoin and fucking all that shit, bro. I mean, like, I don't know what that conspiracy was, but man, I mean, for him to be alive
thank you so much
and
for
see what's
asking.
going on, it's crazy. Maybe he is.
But they have the token for John McAfee.
Yeah, right. Take him in a BTC conference.
The anti, and they have the antivirus.ai chat where you can talk to the AI of John McAfee. I'll put it in an announcement.
And I still can't wrap my brain around the AI, bro. It's like my brain doesn't want to accept this shit. It's too fucking weird, man. I grew up in the 90s.
But this token, it went up a lot, came down, but it's still like okay. It's still okay token.
What does that mean?
At first, people thought it was a hack and a scam, but then they found out it really was his wife that made it. So the chart recovered.
They're like the Trump coin when it was launched, right?
No, this is better.
You know how many people tried to buy that? Is it real? I don't know if it's real. Is it real? Yeah, it's honestly, just buy it.
So I just talked to the John McAfee AI. I asked him, I said, do you like unicorn fart dust crypto? John McAfee AI says, unicorn fart dust, sounds whimsical enough to charm a leprechaun right out of its pot of gold. But let's not kid ourselves. Whimsy doesn't equate to value. In the chaotic cosmos of cryptocurrency, where every coin claims to be the next big thing, my heart remains fiercely loyal to Anti. It's not just a currency, but a digital revolution. This doesn't even sound like John McAfee. He loved Bitcoin.
Ask Grok Unhinged the same question. See what it says.
Well, Grok 3 is already unhinged. Do you like unicorn fart dust crypto? The ticker is UFD. Let me ask Grok 3 real quick. I've been using Grok 3 to build video games.
What you talk about UFOs caused up, motherfucker? Shit, I ain't know shit about it.
So he says, Grok says, hey there, as Grok, I don't really have personal feelings or investment preferences. I'm an AI built to help inform, not to cheerlead for any particular crypto, but I can tell you what's up with UFD. It says UFD is a Solana-based meme coin that's been making waves since its launch in December 2024 by Ronald Brandstetter. God, this AI fucking dots Ronald. Shit, whole name out there. A YouTuber known as crazy, Ron's Basement. Man. Originally a gold and silver enthusiast, skeptical of crypto, he created UFD as a satirical jab at the market's speculative nature, calling it unicorn fart dust. Back in 2023 to mock Bitcoin. Well, the AI's got the year wrong. This wasn't in 2023, Grok. Grok doesn't know how to tell the year.
2023 was a good year.
No, this came out in 2024.
Oh, that was a good year too, man.
So Grok got the wrong year already. But it said the community vibe seems to be a big draw, folks calling themselves dusters, and lean into the playful positive energy with slogans like good attracts good. It's got a dots creator who live streams daily, no insider bundling, and even sponsorships for MoonPay and Ledger, which adds some cred. Price-wise, it's been volatile, surged 22.8% in a day and 44.9% in a week as of late February 2025, but it's also had 30% drops before bouncing back. Right now it's sitting around 21. Oh yeah, it doesn't even have the right price. It thinks the price is at 21 cents.
This might be a little bit too early for you, Tame. Do you remember that coin called Patcoin?
Patcoin?
Patcoin? Yeah.
No.
Oh, man. So that was the big hype coin in 2017. And it was kind of like this, man, where fucking thing would go up like fucking 100% in a day, down 40%, up 100%, up another 100%. Fucking, I put like $500 in there, man. It would go up. I'm like, that's at $3,000. Should I take it out? Nah. Drop down another 50%. Like roller coaster, man. Oh, wow. Man. There was a coin called Titty Coin. Titty Coin. You can buy Titty Coin.
That's wild.
Probably still out there.
That's wild. Are you still here, players? I think players stepped away for a minute.
ETH needs to stay right here.
ETH needs to fucking pump.
Yeah, we definitely need to pump that. Not hack that. We need to pump that.
We gotta pump it up. ETH, pump it up. All we need is a Vitalik to live stream right now and just do like a dance and tell people to buy ETH. That's all we need right now.
Dude, I remember I was living in St. Pete. I had this big penthouse, man, during the COVID. And I had your live stream on one of my big screen in the living room. And I didn't know I had the volume on. I passed out at like 2 a.m. And I woke up, and you were like screaming something, and I fucking woke up. I was like, "What the fuck's going on, man?" Went out in the kitchen, my living room. I'm like, "Oh shit, we're going up."
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just leave your stream on and forget that it wasn't on mute.
Really?
I'm sure I won.
Look at Unicorn Fart Dust. FBI, open up! Unicorn Fart Dust is trying to pump here from that last dip. I think Unicorn Fart Dust is the first one to recover, but it also had a nice double bottom with the RSI oversold.
Yeah, it's got to break that 7. Oh, play the pump it up. I will pump it.
Wow.
Whatever that. Usually a Bitcoin song. Bitcoin, go to moon.
Yeah, a little bit of green happening right now. FOMO Baggins, you have more than 50,000 Unicorn Fart Dust right now?
Bilbo Baggins, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. The answer is no. I do not have 50,000. I do on paper.
Attaboy.
I'm down. I'm only down $299,000 on my loan.
No, you'll be just fine, man. What are you doing? You just keep hope alive, man. Tame keep you up there, man. Are you sleeping right now?
No, I'm just listening to you and dicking around the house.
Well, that's his paper trade.
Yeah, that's my paper trade.
Oh, it's a paper trade.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't have $299,000 anywhere to be down.
So did you start selling some of this stuff in your house to buy more Unicorn Fart Dust? Because you said you're a hoarder.
Yeah, it's such a hassle to deal with people selling me this stuff. I'd rather just hoard it.
Marketplace.
You're a hoarder?
I'm gonna get and load up a truck and take it to the flea market.
Are you like sleeping like around like boxes and stuff? Like, are you just like boxes place?
Well, no.
Like a pack rat? Are you a pack rat?
No, I just got, a bunch of toys. I got bikes and computers and
I mean, it's a lot of useful stuff.
toys and stuff, not really valuable stuff.
Huh.
Just hobbies. I got
You have a lot of
I got some grow lights.
you have a lot of garage sales?
No, you can't do that. I live in a rough neighborhood, man. Things are not the same here like I'm used to.
No, you got like a lot of gangs for like running around.
Yeah, it's rough here. You can't leave anything outside anywhere.
I got you. Well,
You can't even. People will steal the snow shovel.
well, yeah, you never. I mean, Unicorn Fart Dust may go crazy, and you may just change your life from
Well,
the hoarder.
Doge did that for me. It did really well. I kind of feel the same way about Unicorn Fart Dust. When I was a kid growing up, my mom used to talk about Unicorn Fart Dust.
Really?
Yeah.
So that brings me to a question. And you're
said, what to use to pay for that? Unicorn Fart Dust?
so in your mind, when you visualize that, is Unicorn Fart Dust made out of gold or what is it made out of?
No, it's Unicorn Fart Dust came to mean kind of the same thing as the money printer, It just became synonymous for, well, that's all the US dollars were.
You gotta pump it up.
That's why Ron called it that.
Well, I have a microscope. If I was to look at unicorn fart dust under a microscope, in my head I imagine gold particles.
I think it has little like Tinkerbells in it.
Better than dingleberries. Joe Biden, what's the price of unicorn fart dust going to be next year?
1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who runs the brings out the carts on a forklift. What happens?
Wow, that's a very high price of unicorn fart dust. Oh yeah, but my advice to you, FOMO, bag and sell anything you don't need or use because it will eventually lose value over time anyways.
Oh yeah.
And it will just take up more of your space. Are you dating?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm getting ready to get out on the road. Start driving, start traveling again for work.
That's good.
Get ready to do all of that. Right now, I'm just hanging around the house, trading fart dust. And those dusters, they're defensive.
Bones, tell me, do you have at least one unicorn fart dust?
No.
But you've been in crypto long enough. You know they have probably one of the strongest communities if you look at the socials.
Yeah. No. Nope.
They have the best socials.
I am happy in all my positions and my cash on the side.
Wow.
Just trying to see what Doge is going to do here. I was going to try to buy it like 18.5. And I'm just trying to see if it's going to still come down there. I'm thinking it will. But
one liquidation down and we get there. That's like $1 million worth of liquidations easily.
Yeah, I was seeing that too.
So guys, I do have an announcement. Like when we're not on the live YouTube anymore, just to help the algorithm, I can't keep these charts running on the YouTube. So the charts will be here when we're here.
And when we're not here?
I mean, I can leave it running in the Discord. You guys can talk on the Discord, watch the Discord thing.
But the charts have always ran on YouTube, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's killed our algorithm so bad. So the same people that have been doing the YouTube since I've doing it, when they go live now, they automatically get 1,000 views. We're lucky to get 100. We slaughtered our algorithm.
Man. I used to love just keeping this motherfucker on my TV.
My buddy with the same amount of views, subscribers as me, he goes live, he gets like 5,000 views every stream. And sometimes just talking about one coin like XRP. So our algorithm is fucked, and the best way to fix that is by not leaving it 24/7. Because the viewer count obviously fall off. So what I've been building a website that can have the charts as well that can play on your TV. And also, you can put the Discord on your TV, I think.
Yeah, you can. I'll just do that. I'll just do that, man. Come on, there we go.
I don't know why YouTube kills the algorithm like that. And then some days we're going to be streaming on
YouTube's the dark fucking... YouTube's some dark shit, man. There's some dark stuff going on, man. I don't know, man. Just things are changing, aren't they?
I think
See all
so.
that money we're going to get from AI, man. I mean, today Trump's like 200 billion coming in from this fucking guy that I could give two shits from. He's going to give me 200 billion for some AI. Yeah, you don't even fucking know, man. His cabinet does, bro. Like, do this, do that, get this, and he does it, man. But motherfucker, man, these ding dongs are up the podium talking about this and that and the fucking infrastructure and the brain and the fucking AI, man. It's like, holy shit, what are we doing? All we want to do is pump our bag. Come on.
Yeah.
Pump the fart dust, baby.
But I will say, though, Cardano has a very good infrastructure.
Well, yeah.
When your transaction fails on Cardano, you don't get charged a gas fee.
The only thing I didn't like about Charles was going after that Africa stuff, man. I didn't think I mean, come on, man. You're in Boulder, man. Let's keep it in America, you know? But maybe that's why, because I lost a lot of money on that trade. Yeah, that's why. I gotta come to fruition with myself, man. I gotta be honest.
I don't know. Looking at the Cardano chart over the last 3 years, I can see areas where people lost money.
Yeah. Tame, let me tell you something, bro. Like, when we were in that bull market and I rode that fucker from a penny to $2.20, and then it dumped, but it had this catastrophic dump, and I was in cash, and it came down below $1. Right, it just kept going. You probably remember this, man. It just kept going and going. I was just waking up. I was in Florida, and I couldn't buy. I had this my hand was shaking. I couldn't fucking do it. But if I would have bought, oh my God, that would have been millions.
What happened? I mean, why couldn't you buy?
We've all had that.
Was it like, were you too happy?
No, I was just waking up. I couldn't figure it out. I was in cash. I didn't know why it was dropping. It looked like it was capitulating. The market just went from fucking wherever it was down 40% at the time and going. I'm like, oh my fucking God. And then it wicked right back up, and then it wicked down. And I'm like, fuck. Do I buy? No, don't. And I'm like, you know what I mean? It was like, fuck. And I just didn't buy. And that whole day I was like, that was my fucking shit. But we've all been there, you know. It is what it is, crypto. But look at Cardano now, man. That fucking thing went to $1 in 2017, okay, from nothing. Backed by a super smart innovator. I mean, Charles is fucking intelligent as hell. And from 2017, I think that's when it was created. I could be wrong. And then manifests, into this, all-time high of $3. But like, so many investors of Cardano don't even know what it does. They don't even know what it is. They're just like, it goes up, blah, blah, blah. China likes it, da, da, da. But they don't understand. Like, as soon as Charles went to the White House and met with the president, I think it was 2 years ago, I was like, yeah, something's fucking going on here. So, I mean, it's good. And then Charles mentioned he had big news in February prior to all this. I mean, we saw Cardano dump to fucking 60 cents. Are you fucking kidding me?
33 cents. Yeah.
Was it 33? Holy missing out.
My Discord post about buying it was at 33.
If you ain't buying the dip, fuck. That was the dip to buy right there.
Let me pull this chart up on the YouTube. Look at this, YouTube. Look at this. I said falling wedge target Cardano 76. And the price was at 35 cents then. And I put his nice picture on the chart too.
Yeah.
Is at 35 cents. You could have got it at 35 cents. But he became very emboldened after his White House visit. Oh, man. He started popping off. He started getting cocky. Kind of like what I did last year. I got super cocky after after talking to Trump Jr. and those guys. I got super cocky. Probably a little bit too cocky. But it gave me the confidence that I needed to make some of the trades, to make some of the biggest profits ever. And I found unicorn fart dust after that too. Luckily, on the day.
When you called that short in FTX, I took that short with you, brother. I made a lot of money.
Oh yeah, they were going under. FTX was going under.
I think it was a Sunday, Tame. I think it was a Sunday. And I remember you going fucking crazy about it, bro. And I was like in my car. I was in St. Pete Beach, fucking playing volleyball all day. Got in my car, had a few beers. You were screaming about it. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, dude. And I just did it all the way to fucking nothing, man. That was a good call right there. Now look at him. Is he texting from jail?
I think he's gonna get out of jail.
I think they gave him a phone because he's been like texting.
Let me show you the Discord. Look in the Discord. This is the funniest
What a
shit.
weirdo. That guy's a fucking weirdo.
Jim Cramer tweeted this in 2022. Jim Cramer says, Sam Bankman-Fried doles out credit lines to save crypto institutions. He's the new JP Morgan. Woo! That's
Jim Cramer's he's a weird dude, man. He's been around a long time.
And then I was in the Discord. I was like, I'm shorting FTT. We started shorting it above $24 per.
Yeah, he's been around for. He's older than old men.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing about I like legacy. So Cardano founder Charles is only 37 years old. He's only 4 years older than me. And Donald Trump, when he is no longer president, the next election, I have a very strong feeling J.D. Vance will be that candidate for the Republicans. And then after that, Barron Trump will probably start running for a position in something as well.
Yeah, he's definitely getting in there with this fucking posture. The motherfucker's already acting like he's king.
Not Don Jr., but Barron will be ready by then.
You're 6'7". God, man, he's fucking tall. Jesus.
He might become the tallest president of the United States later on.
Yeah, Doge still having a little bit of a dump here, so I'll be looking at this to buy. Let's go. Not that I want to dump for anybody that's holding. I just want to buy. I'm just a buyer over here.
Yeah, so you only have to be 35 years old to become president of the United States.
I still can't believe how much Barack Obama has made.
Well,
or Elizabeth Warren. You know, these people, brother, even Gensler. I'm so happy we have like this efficiency department that's going to dig up some of this shit. And even though there's a lot of other shit, like Elon was saying on the podcast I was listening to, he's like, I can't give it all away, but he's like inside trading. He's like, there's a whole nother level that goes below that one. And Joe Rogan was like, well, tell me about that. And he's like, and Elon's like, I'll get killed.
Maybe I should watch that tonight.
Yeah. It'll kill me if I tell you.
That's wild.
Well, and now God, who's this ding dong that wants to sue Trump now for inside trading? Let me see. I looked this up, man.
But I don't want to be the negative Nancy in the room. But that would be the most bearish catalyst for Doge ever.
What's that?
If they kill Elon, Doge will crash. Nothing will prop up Doge if they kill Elon.
Yeah.
And that's a big risk factor of trading Doge.
I thought about that too, man, because the Democrats are crazy right now. It's not
even just the Democrats. It's like there's some people out there, regular people, that are crazy. There's people that are setting Teslas on fire in parking lots right now. They just burned down a charge station on the news.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
There are crazy people in the world, so that is one problem. At least Elon has the AI and the security teams.
Yeah, when he was on Joe Rogan, man, you did see a little fear in his eyes, man. Like, he's like, they're after me, man. He's like, I got to boost my security. He's like, they want to kill me. You motherfuckers are standing outside SpaceX. Like, yeah, man, you know.
I mean, I'm not that afraid of death. I will do my best to prevent myself from dying, but I would accept it as well because, I don't know, I'm a Christian. I believe in heaven after life.
Would that be a good tip to buy?
Dude, imagine if Doge went back to half a penny. Oh my god.
Oh, man.
Could you imagine the liquidations?
Well, these four wallets that own like, mean, there'd be capitulation.
Hello, Biden.
Get nasty.
It's Zelensky. We need 5 billion rockets.
It get nasty.
Yeah, it's wild.
That Doge. Dude, that was kind of fun though, man. Like that whole hype up to Saturday Night Live, dude. All the Doge shit. That was kind of fun, man. Everybody was just like Doge to $1, da 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 da, blah blah blah. And then Elon's tweeting, "It's Friday. You're out having beers. You're like, it went up another 30%. You're doing backflips on the bar. You're like, fuck yeah, you know." Like that was some fun ass times, man. You know.
I think Doge could have hit $1. I really thought it could have hit $1 before, but the whole reason I took profits, buy the rumor, sell the news, and Elon didn't deliver enough on Saturday Night Live.
No, I got rid of it.
So people
got rid of it before it started.
People are rushing to sell, but Saturday Night Live is not really good entertainment, in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, I had a buddy that had 5 million Doge. He didn't sell. He didn't sell until it went all the way down to like 7 cents or something, and he sold it all. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah. He thought it was going to fucking nothing. He bought like a boat and like fucking tried to start a charter company or whatever, and like the boat just has all these problems and like nobody wants to get on it.
That is crazy.
Oh man, you know.
I've seen people put money into businesses that fell. It happens. It's life. But other people I've seen them put money in a business and they're happy as ever.
Yeah.
And then there's my friend from college that put his money in a business and now he's working 80 hours a week for himself.
As long as you're doing it for yourself.
I'd rather work 80 hours a week for myself than 40 hours a week for somebody else.
Shit, yeah. All right, Doge ready to break down, baby. Let's go. What we got going on over here?
Well, we have these little bit of liquidations under us right now, too.
Yeah, look at that downtrend since 42. Just like, damn. Not even 42, man. Fucking 4-hour chart.
Wow.
Boy, I tell you what, though, man. I held that fucking coin for almost a year and a half, dude. And then I got that pump to 48. So I gotta tell everybody. I mean, when I tell you I held. My ass held from like from fucking. I don't even know, man. Whenever it went down to like 5 cents, I held. That's when I held. Boom, 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 boom. You know, look, yeah, you might have to hold for a while. But you know what? Just keep holding. And when you get that, just boom, boom, man, get the fuck out. But have a day job, man.
The best thing about trading you can do is have like passive income or income from a job. If you're just trading with money and you have no more money, like if you try to start with 10,000 and you have no cash flow for bills and stuff, it's going to be really difficult.
Oh yeah, dude. And if you're new to crypto, like on top of that, like what, dude? And you're trying to get information from like you and like other like influencers, you know.
I can handle being in a trade for 200 days. Some people can't do that.
Yeah.
I can cut my losses and then go into something else.
Yeah. Hey, whatever happened to GME, man? Like the kitty, did he ever? Because he was tweeting for a little bit. Like, what happened to that? I didn't look. I lost like looking at his stuff.
He came back recently. He's been posting a little bit here and there. I think GameStop's getting ready to squeeze.
And I can't believe he was up $1 billion.
You want me?
It's wild.
You know what's even more wild? The guy that went long, like $200 million long on Bitcoin and stuff before the Trump announcement.
Yeah.
He's now up over $10.5 million on his short that he closed right before the announcement on the tariffs.
Wow, dude! Of course, bro.
He's up.
Of course. Wow. And you know that was like a phone call, bro. That was literally like a phone call. Like, dude, it's time to go. You know what I mean?
That's not a phone call. That was sitting in the room.
Yeah. That was that's bro. That's
hey, we're getting some green still. We're still getting some green. I think we might get a big pump on the 7th.
I don't know, Tame. I was thinking the same thing, man. But oh yeah, on Friday, yeah, of course, bro. Yeah, I think Friday's going to be big. And I think we're going to start seeing some news here start to come out here. There's just been nothing but fucking bearish news. You got the ding dong that visits the White House with no suit, says we're going to have fucking trouble in our waters. You know, Trump fucking gets mad. It's weird. It's like a fucking acting thing, bro. It's like all this bearish fucking shit. Then Russia hit the Ukraine boat.
It's funny you use the word acting. It might have been acting.
I'm telling you, dude, I've watched it 100 times, man. You watch it 100 times, it's like, fuck. You know, and then he flies over to the UK. The UK premier is like, okay, I'll give you $4 billion. See you later. We love you. It's
$4 billion a year. It's going to take them 100 years to give what they were asking America for 1 year. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Especially if you count for inflation, maybe like 500 years.
I mean, I like what Trump did, man, in that meeting. I mean, I think he was a president.
Yeah, we have to push for 100% peace. And then after that, they went and bombed a Russian oil refinery. So
you know, Trump says you have no cards. He goes, I have no cards. He said, I have no cards. I don't think he interpreted the whole meeting in the word. I think you probably need a fucking translator, bro. You know?
He speaks English,
but not well.
Well enough.
I get the better suit than you. I mean, maybe I get better suit than you. I'm telling you, bro.
No, but he caught himself because he came there begging for money. So he's like, maybe cheaper than you. Maybe I'll get cheaper than you. He caught himself. He was about to brag that he's going to buy a more expensive suit. And then he realized he's there begging for money. So he has to say he's going to get a cheaper suit.
I don't know, man. That guy looks like a weirdo to me. I choose Trump over him any day.
Any day? Are you sure about that?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. In combat, I would choose Zelensky.
Why?
He's way more fit than Trump. If it had to come down to someone helping you in combat. and if I was in prison, hear me out. If I was in prison for 10 years, I would choose Zelensky for my bunkmate.
Out there with the machine gun.
If I was in prison for 10 years, I think Zelensky would make a better prison mate. Have you seen the videos of him belly dancing?
No, dude, listen, bro. I don't want to have this conversation.
You have to accept reality. Which one would you really choose?
Oh man, that escalated quick.
You have to be very careful when you're talking in absolutes.
But we will see what happens on Friday, man.
I pray to God that Zelensky creates a pump.fun on Friday. I pray to God. And I pray that I'm the first one to buy.
If Elon comes out or Trump says, hey, Doge is going to be in the reserve, and let's say Doge comes down to 15 cents by then, maybe who knows, wherever it hits, that fucking thing is going to fly to 50 cents.
Why are they asking us for money? Why don't they make a pump.fun?
Look at the RSI. Look at the reset. Look at all the indicators on Doge. Look how reset they are. If that news comes out.
Yeah, but if Zelensky has so many people that support Ukraine in this war, why don't they create a pump.fun?
Yeah.
You don't think that they would... Let me follow the guy in case he makes a pump.fun on Friday morning.
Make sure you do that.
Let me send out a Discord announcement.
Oh, it is like the Matrix. 30D. 100% simulation, man. I agree with you, bro. Fucking Matrix. What the fuck are we doing?
I posted on Discord his Twitter page and everything in case he makes a pump.fun Friday.
And if that happens, you're the man. That's what if shit happens. Holy shit.
If that happens, I'll be one of the first buyers. I'll buy their token. Zelensky launches a pumped out fund on Friday. I'll buy it.
Doge, man. You know what I felt bad about, man, is when Doge was crashing from 70 cents and it was coming down to like 50, and everybody in your Discord was like, I'm Doge to $1. I'm holding, diamond hands. Everyone's holding, but it just kept going down. And then Drew was like, it's gonna fucking bounce. It's gonna go. Just wait. Blah blah blah. Big buys. And that shit just kept plummeting and plummeting.
But Drew was like that with a lot of cryptos. You have to a part of you have to be optimistic, but you have to choose the areas to be optimistic when it comes to crypto.
Oh, 100%, man.
For me, I'm the most vocal at the bottoms, but then there's other people that are more vocal near the tops. And when I was vocal at the bottom about Bitcoin being at the bottom, the opposition was saying that we weren't at the bottom. Around 16K, they thought it was going to go much lower. Well, I think we're getting a little bit of green. I'm probably going to wrap up this live stream relatively soon. It's about 11. I'll let you know if the guy Zelensky launches a meme coin Friday. I already put his Twitter page. Just follow his Twitter page. Just see what's happening over there. I'm not saying he will. I just say follow in case, right? Anybody have any closing statements before we hop off the YouTube? Now I'll throw my chart up on the Discord.
Unicorn fart dust to the moon.
You don't own any.
There you go, baby. I'm still a cheerleader over here. Come on.
I'd rather have Zelensky as a cheerleader. That belly dancing.
I bet you would.
Wow. I can't wait to see Ron's Basement on his YouTube live tomorrow talking about unicorn fart dust. That guy streams more than a lot of streamers out there.
Who's that?
The creator of Unicorn Fart Dust. He's a YouTuber.
Oh my gosh.
The guy that used to stream about gold and silver, now he's doing a lot of live streams about his UFD project.
Come on down here, dudes. Come on. You just can't get above any EMAs, can you? So come on down, baby. Come on down. I don't know, man. They're looking a little bit overheated.
A lot of traders don't use AMA. I love it.
I love it too.
One of my most profitable models is off of EMA.
Well, the problem is a lot of people use it on like an hour, but they don't. If they're just swinging, they don't look at like the 1, the 5, the 15 with the EMAs. Like I look at all that perspective. If you're like short-term swinging, like you just can't look at like the hour. A lot of people forget about that shit. Like analyzing the smaller time frames. You can really, like, depending on your trade, just kind of see where the momentum is going. If you look at that and the volume, and it's simple.
I will say this: Friday is not a day to miss on charts. If you're serious about trading crypto, Friday is not the day to miss.
Hey, what are the times that starts, Tame?
Oh, you're gonna start seeing shit in the pre-markets probably. You're gonna see activity at 6 o'clock in the morning. Somebody will know something you don't know at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Watch fucking Ukraine fire a missile somewhere all day.
No, watch them launch a pumped out fun.
It's something crazy happening, man.
Oh, Bybit is gonna have a live stream talking about join top security experts as they dive into their investigation of the recent Bybit ETH wallet incident.
Yeah.
Oh, why does that start in 5 hours? Fuck. What, they're doing it at 4 o'clock in the morning? Shit. 4 o'clock in the morning. Come on. Wow. I'm not watching that. But thank you for the reminder that you have to buy Ethereum back.
Damn, man. Gummy bears? Shit.
Yep.
All right, bro.
All right, you guys have a good one. See you guys later. I'm going to throw up the charts on the Discord. Oh, they're on the Discord. Watch Screenbot.
Later, bro.
Later. Peace out.